Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you wonderfully.
Okay, well, we'll just do it this way, and I'm right now just coming back kind of from a break, and we're actually discussing this on the air as our last-ditch thing to get you guys on. So if we're good to go, you can...
St. Idaho, we appreciate you having us on board. We appreciate your feed, everybody.
Yep. Okay, we are back. It's the Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union Countdown to kickoff here on KOFE. I do believe we have KBFI 1450 tied in with us, and we want to welcome the listeners up in Bonners Ferry on KBFI 1450 AM. The Lumberjacks taking on the Bonners Ferry Badgers here at Lumberjack Field. It is homecoming for the Lumberjacks. We're just now going to take a look at the 2A Central Idaho League standings. The St. Maries Lumberjacks are sitting at a 1-4 record, 1-0 in league play. They lost at Timberlake last week, and they took a pretty good beating to the Timberlake Tigers, 56-14. And the Lumberjacks are currently 15th in Idaho Sports power rankings and 15th in the Max Preps rankings. The Green Devil Bulldogs sit with a 1-3 record. They are 0-0, have not played any league games just yet. They lost at New Plymouth 52-49 last week, and they are hosting Orofino tonight. I believe it is their homecoming night. And they are currently 13th on IdahoSports.com, 17th in the Max Preps rankings. Orofino 0-3 on the season. They lost at Kellogg last week, 52-0, and they are 18th in Idaho Sports, 22nd in Max Preps. The Kellogg Wildcats 1-4 overall, 1-1 in league play. Like I said, beat Orofino last week, 52-0, and they are 16th in Idaho Sports rankings, 19th on Max Preps. Taking a look at those power rankings and coaches polls for the 2A Central Idaho League. The Idaho Sports Power Rankings has Declo at number 1, North Fremont, Marcy, Westside, and Melba, the top 5. In the coaches poll, it's Declo, Westside, North Freeman, Aberdeen, and Melba. And then in the media polls, it's Declo, Westside, North Fremont, Melba, and Aberdeen. And on Max Preps, it's Declo, Westside, North Fremont, Aberdeen, and Melba. So that is the polls and power rankings, the 2A rank standings. We'll take a 2-minute break and come back with more.
For all your plumbing needs, call Nick's Plumbing and Heating. With Nick's professional staff, you can be assured of guaranteed quality products, installation, service, and repair of all of your plumbing. So if you have plumbing needs or problems, call the good folks at Nick's Plumbing and Heating. Call 245-5460. That's 245-5460. Nick's Plumbing and Heating, installation, service, and repair when you need it. Nick's Plumbing and Heating, St. Mary's.
When you need that morning pick-me-up before work or school, there's one place that comes to mind. It's a place that loves our community, the St. Maries Lumberjacks, and all the local businesses and people in our village. Shift and Grind in St. Maries is all about the community. Whether it's helping raise money for the Booster Club or for a family in need, the Shift and Grind family are always ready to help. So be sure to stop by Shift and Grind for your caffeinated needs. Located at 132 First Street in St. Mary's, Shift and Grind says, go Lumberjack! Cold weather is coming, and 10th Street Lumber has what you need. From super premium pellets to energy logs and fireplaces, 10th Street Lumber will help you stay warm all winter long. North Idaho energy logs and stove pellets are the best of the best. 100% natural with no chemicals and burn cleaner, hotter, and longer. If you need a new stove, 10th Street Lumber is a proud Kuma stove supplier. Kuma wood stoves are made right here in Idaho and are some of the best on the market. 10th Street Lumber in St. Mary's. Stop by today. Located on 10th and Railroad Avenue in St. Mary's. Wondering how to manage your retirement nest egg? How big should it be when you retire? Contact Jenny Oaks at Gateway Financial Partners to get the answers to these and all your other financial questions. The securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC. With over 30 years of financial planning, give Jenny Oaks a call at Gateway Financial Partners today. The guidance is free. The experience is priceless. Call 245-5255. And we are back, Tim Parrish at Lumberjack Field, as we are set for Lumberjack versus Bonners Ferry Badgers action here on homecoming night for the Lumberjacks. Once again, we want to welcome those in on 1450 KBFI AM in Bonners Ferry. Right now, we're taking a look around the county in sports. Benoit County, Lakeside Knights, their volleyball team, they lost to Bonners Ferry in one of their last actions, trips to the court. They lost 3-1 to the Bonners Ferry Badgers volleyball squad, and they will be at Clark Fork on October the 3rd. Their football team lost. They are 3-2 on the season. They lost to Lewis County 48-0 last week, and they host Mullen this week. Kootenai, their volleyball team lost in 3 sets to Wallace on the 21st, and then they lost in 3 sets to Mullen on the 28th, and they will host Clark Fork on the 2nd. Once again, their football team had to cancel their season due to injuries and just not quite enough players to finish out their season. That is a quick look at around the county in sports. We'll take another 2-minute break, and we'll be back with more.
Triple X Feeds in St. Maries is your one-stop farm and garden shop. Everything from pet supplies to livestock feeds and supplies, Triple X Feeds has it. Horse supplies, they have that also. From saddle pads to bridles, Triple X Feeds can set you up. Triple X Feeds now has hay and alfalfa in stock as well as straw. Triple X Feeds, located at 130 East College Avenue in St. Maries, open 8 to 5:30 weekdays and 9 to 5 on Saturday. Triple X Feeds, a proud Lumberjack sports broadcast sponsor.
Looking for a hard-working, reputable, licensed, and insured construction company in Benoit County? Need a remodel, pole barn, or deck? Whatever your construction needs may be, Colton Construction LLC is waiting for your call. 208-315-7333. Colton Construction LLC, licensed, insured, and ready to give you your free estimate today. Give them a call, 208-315-7333. That's 208-315-7333. Colton Construction, LLC. Ask about their military discount.
It's the kid in grade school who paints their face blue and white before every home game.
It's the accountants and salesmen who give up their Friday evenings to referee.
It's the cashier at the corner convenience store who wears school colors on every game day.
What makes high school sports here in Idaho so special?
They do. You do.
We all do.
This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
St. Maries Realty is a St. Maries icon. Why? Because they are a team. They work for you. And they've been a team for many years. Whether you are buying your first home, looking for a recreational cabin, or selling your current home, St. Maries Realty puts their team on it for you. So stop in or give them a call today at 245-4502 and let their team be your team. That's St. Maries Realty at 726 Main Avenue, St. Maries.
And we are back. Tim Parrish here at Lumberjack Field, Paulette's #1 Federal Credit Union countdown to kickoff. It's the Badgers and the Lumberjacks doing battle. 52 degrees currently. A little bit of a light drizzle off and on, but cloudy right now for the most part. Pretty nice looking sunset off to the west. Once again, it is homecoming night, and once again, we want to welcome those in, not only listening on KOFE 1240 AM, but also on KBFI 1450 AM in Bonners Ferry. Also, we have our YouTube audio stream. We had a few little glitches with it this evening. We've got that straightened out, I do believe. And as well as on the NFHS network, we have the school's NFHS network. We provide our play-by-play into the NFHS system. So we have that there as well. Back to the countdown to kickoff, taking a look at some Lumberjack statistics so far here about midway through the season. The Lumberjacks only averaging 18 points per game, and they're putting up some pretty decent yardage numbers, 272 yards per game. Passing yards, just 63 per game. St. Maries has been pretty tough on the ground, though, with 209 yards rushing per game, 4 yards per pass attempt, and 5 yards per rush attempt for the Lumberjacks. St. Maries has lost just 1 fumble on the season, but they have thrown 8 interceptions. Third down conversions for the Jacks, 33%. Fourth down conversions, 44%. Some offensive leaders for the Lumberjacks: quarterback Jack Barta, just a sophomore, 26 of 75 passing on the season, 316 yards. He's thrown 3 touchdowns to 8 interceptions, and he's been sacked 5 times. Trey Gibson having a heck of a senior year, 140 carries, 938 yards. He is number 1 in the state of Idaho in the rushing category. He has 6 touchdowns. He averages 7 yards per rush and 188 yards per game. He has 28 carries per game. Julian Grimaldo is the leading wide receiver. He's a sophomore with 7 receptions, 172 yards, 2 touchdowns, 25 yards per reception, 34 yards per game. And Trey Gibson also has 5 receptions for 53 yards and a touchdown. Defensively for the Lumberjacks, they are allowing 37 yards per game, 37 points per game. I think I said yards. 306 yards per game, 167 passing, 139 rushing. Third down conversions, giving up 44% to their opponents and 50% of fourth down conversions. St. Maries has forced 7 fumbles and 1 interception. The Lumberjacks, though, currently -1 in the turnover battle. The Lumberjack defense has sacked the opposing quarterback 5 times. Defensive leaders, Trey Gibson, a senior, 42 tackles on the year, 4 tackles for loss, 4 forced fumbles, and 4 fumble recoveries. Cole Darnold, he's a senior, 32 tackles on the season, 2 tackles for loss, 2 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery. Trey Gibson also has a defensive touchdown on a fumble recovery. Roan Ford, he's a senior, 3 sacks on the season, 6 tackles for loss, 1 defensive touchdown with a fumble recovery, returned for 6. That was against Melba. He also has credit of 1 safety on the year. The lone interception for the Lumberjacks is being picked off by Julian Grimaldo, and that's been a few games ago as well. So that's been a look at some stats for your Lumberjacks. We'll take another 2-minute break and come back with more from Lumberjack Field.
Riverbend Car Wash and Laundromat, located next to Harvest Foods in St. Mary's. Open 24 hours, we have washers and dryers of all sizes to get your laundry done quickly. If you'd like to get your laundry done in less than 5 minutes, take advantage of our drop-off laundry service where we wash, dry, and fold it for you. While you do your laundry, be sure to take advantage of our touchless automatic car wash, which has that great undercarriage spray to get the grime off. Riverbend Car Wash and Laundromat can be found at riverbendbubbles.com or call 208-582-4844.
When your car's not running right, you want an honest mechanic that provides quality work at an affordable price. That can be tough, unless your dad owns a repair shop. But in St. Mary's, times have changed. You have Jim's Auto, and they treat every customer like family. Get everything from regular maintenance to major repairs done at Jim's Auto and Tire Pros. Jim's Auto doesn't just offer oil changes. They're a full-service shop. Jim's Auto can diagnose that check engine light, change your brakes, and fix your alignment. Ask about Jim's Auto's new Express Lane with same-day or next-day oil and tire services. And don't forget, Jim's Auto is an authorized Tire Pros dealer with nationwide warranty, service protection plan, and free roadside assistance. Jim's Auto and Tire Pros located at 69 Milwaukee Road, St. Mary's. Nellie's Kitchen at the River City Mall is your all-day breakfast headquarters. Well, almost. Nellie's Kitchen is open 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. and serves nothing but breakfast all day long. Stop by Nellie's Kitchen today and try their breakfast sandwich, the Nellie, or have a fan favorite, the Slumgolian. Nellie's Kitchen is open Tuesday to Sunday, 7 to 1, and offers breakfast the entire time. Eat in or call in your order at 208-245-2223. That's 208-245-2223. Nellie's Kitchen located at the River City Mall in St. Mary's. And we are back with the Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union Countdown to kick off here on 1240 KOFE St. Mary's. And once again, it is homecoming night. Lumberjacks hosting the Bonners Ferry Badgers, made that 3-hour trip down south. I don't think I got an update on the JV game once we knew that Bonners Ferry was tied in with us for KBFI FAM 1450. But that game, the JV game, ended up in a tie, 26-26. Lumberjack JV scored 2 touchdowns in the first quarter, went up 14-0. The Badgers put together 2 quick drives right at the end of the second quarter and tied things up going into halftime. Coming out of halftime, the Badgers scored 2 more touchdowns, going up 26-14 over St. Mary's. Lumberjacks answered back with a touchdown, making it 20-26. Recovered a kickoff on the next kickoff, St. Mary's did, and then they drove that down, punched it in for a touchdown, and then it was 26 all, and both teams had a little bit of a drive before the end of the game, but neither one could get it into the end zone, so they finished with a 26-26 tie for both teams. Once again, as I said, it is homecoming as well tonight, and we'll let you know who the homecoming royalty for St. Mary's, the nominees, are here in a bit if we can. But first, the Lumberjacks last week, they had a rough night at Timberlake. It was a game that most players, the coaches, everybody wants to forget, put behind themselves, and just not remember that game. The Jacks made plenty of mistakes against a pretty tough team, and when you play a good team like Timberlake, you can't make the mistakes and expect to be able to overcome them as easily as you can against some teams. The Jacks kept the penalties relatively low in that game. They did just have 6 penalties, but some of those were either at bad times in any case. They either stalled out a Lumberjack drive or they extended a Timberlake drive. One thing that did show up on film was assignments on blocking on offense. There was just not quite getting to the right spot to open up those holes for Trey Gibson to run through, and also a little bit of the same thing on defense as far as being kind of out of your spot. So they're hoping to get that cleared up this week. St. Mary's, once again, last week, we lost Coach Tepp last week, so that was weighing heavily on everybody's minds and definitely on a lot of those athletes' minds. So Coach said that he kind of, chalked it up to a mulligan on that game, and he just wants to see them come back out tonight and execute the way that they have been. So we'll see what the Lumberjacks can do tonight. They've had a pretty good practice all week long, and we'll see what St. Mary's can do here on homecoming night, or see if Bonners Ferry can play the spoiler and come in and get a win against the Lumberjacks here on their home turf. We'll take a quick 1-minute break, and we'll be back with more.
Does your furry friend need a bath? Don't want to deal with the hassle and the mess from bathing your furry friend? Make an appointment with Barks and Bubbles Groom Shop today. Barks and Bubbles, located at 402 North 10th Street in St. Mary's, will have your furry friend looking and feeling like $1 million in no time. And guess what? No mess at home, no scratches, and no getting soaked from head to toe. Let Barks and Bubbles Groom Shop handle the work. Barks and Bubbles Groom Shop also offers pet boarding. Call for an appointment today at 208-245-5755. That's 208-245-5755. Barks and Bubbles Groom Shop in St. Mary's.
You show your vandal pride? Dave sure does. He proudly dons the silver and gold everywhere he goes. Dave thought he was the ultimate fan until he found out there was a Vandal debit card.
Where did you get that?
Well, Dave, there's only one place to get your Vandal debit card. At P1FDU. Visit P1FDU.org/GoVandals to get your Vandal card today. Debit cards are only available to P1FDU members with an active checking account. Insured by NCUA.
And we are back, and really quickly, I missed a lot of that, but they're talking about the class competitions that took place all week this week between juniors, sophomores, seniors, freshmen, and the seniors were the overall winner this year for their homecoming festivities. This is the Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union Countdown to Kickoff here on 1240 KOFE St. Mary's. Once again, welcoming in everybody up in Bonners Ferry, listening in on KBFI 1450 AM. It's the Lumberjacks and the Badgers, and these teams know each other from way back. They've been playing each other ever since the 3A days, and they continued all that here moving on through the years. Bonners Ferry still 3A Intermountain League team, and they have just that 2-team league up there with Timberlake. The other team in the league is Kellogg and Priest River, both dropped down to that 2A league last year. The Badgers this year on a 1-4 win-loss record. They are 16th in the Max Preps rankings for 3A. They lost 34-14 to East Valley High School out of Washington last week. The Bonners Ferry Badgers last year had an incredible season. They were 9-0 overall, 1-0 in league play. Their head coach is Danny Swift. This is his first season He did spend the last 5 years, though, as an assistant and defensive coach for the Badgers. Some key returners the Badgers have this year that St. Mary's has got to look out for tonight is running back and linebacker Dakota Heller. He is a senior. He was an all-league player last year. Offensive lineman and defensive lineman Trey Bateman. He is a senior. He was also all-league last year. Full lineman and defensive lineman Colton Root. He is a senior. And offensive lineman and defensive lineman Noah Verrilman. He is a senior this year. A couple of key players lost. Actually, I can't say a couple of key players lost last year to graduation. The Badgers had one of the biggest graduating classes I'd ever seen. We actually played the Badgers on their senior night last year, and they graduated 22 seniors off their roster last year, including all-state players Cleo Hensley, their quarterback Blake Rice, and Charles Hensley. Incoming impact player this year is Brody Rice. He is the brother to Blake Rice, and he is a junior. He is a quarterback and defensive back for the Badgers. The Badgers, like I said, had one of the best seasons in school history last year. They went perfect 8-0 on the season. I actually, when we played them last year, I thought these guys look a lot like the 2016 Lumberjacks, and I really thought they were maybe going to win that state championship last year. It surprised me, and it hurt my heart a little bit when I seen that they lost in the second round of the playoffs last year, because I really thought they were going to go all the way, but they played hard last year. A very good team. So they're kind of rebuilding from that a little bit. It's really tough when you have 22 guys that were all big players on your team. So those players have moved on to graduation, and the Badgers kind of rebuilding a little bit this year. They have that new coach, Travis Henthorn. Like I said, Travis Henthorn, their head coach, he stepped down in the offseason, and Danny Swift stepped up. Like I said, he was no stranger to Badger football. He was an assistant and defensive coach for the last 5 years. So we know that they're going to continue to do what has always worked well for them in the past. But they do have a young group of players this year. But I counted up, they have about 12 seniors this year as well. They're going to be looking to Trey Bateman, Colton Root, and Noah Verrilman, some of those seniors there, to provide some leadership for this young group of players this year. And the Badgers, they kind of, they like to run the ball. Kind of like St. Mary's, and they do throw it around a little bit. So again, the Lumberjacks defensively are going to have to be sound in their secondary. The Badgers back out here on the field. St. Mary's waiting for them to come out. We'll take a quick 1-minute break, and we'll be back.
Kenny and the crew at 10th Street Superstop invite you into the biggest convenience store in town. 10th Street Superstop is your one-stop shop for gas, propane, snacks, and ice-cold drinks. Stop in for breakfast or lunch, breakfast burritos and pizza to paninis and fajita burritos. 10th Street Superstop has something for everyone. Whether you're headed to a Lumberjack game or out into the woods, 10th Street Superstop is the place to stop for anything you may need. 10th Street Superstop on North 10th Street in St. Mary's.
Do you have a hazardous tree on your property? Do you need some trees or brush removed in preparation for the home or shop? You can call Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing. Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing specializes in the removal of dangerous trees, pruning, thinning, and chipping. Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing also has a bucket truck for those hard-to-reach areas. So if you're in need of some thinning, tree removal, and site preparation, call Andy's Arbor Site Clearing. That's at 208-582-2134. That's 208-582-2134. Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing.
And we are back. The Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union countdown to kick off, as it looks like we're getting almost ready for the Lumberjacks to come back out on the field. St. Mary's this week, they look to bounce back from what some would consider a pretty embarrassing loss last week to Timberlake. The Jacks had a tough week last week, of course, from an emotional standpoint. We all knew that that was a game that really could go either way. St. Mary's could come out fired up and want to just go out there and blow the doors off Timberlake, or they could come out a little bit flat, and it kind of came out the opposite way. Some of the players even came to Coach Rouse this week, beginning of the week, and kind of apologized to him, told him that, their head just wasn't in the game last week, and it's highly understandable. So this week, the Jacks get a chance to redeem themselves for homecoming and see if they can come away with a victory against a team that is very typically a tough opponent. In the last 10 meetings, the Jacks are 6-4 against the Badgers. The Badgers have got the best of St. Mary's last year, 46-16 in Bonners Ferry. In a head-to-head matchups, the Lumberjacks averaged 31 points per game against Bonners Ferry, while the Badgers average around 20 points per game in head-to-head competition with the Jacks. So fairly balanced. Both teams play hard, and it's going to be a fun night of football here in St. Mary's. Taking a look at some other sports here in St. Mary's, the boys soccer team lost 11-1 to Bonners Ferry last Saturday. They played Orofino yesterday, but I did not see a final score for that game. The girls lost to Bonners Ferry 6-1 here in St. Mary's. They are scheduled to be at Lakeland on the 5th. Volleyball, they beat Kellogg 3-1 on Wednesday night in a very fun Pink Out the Gym homecoming game on Wednesday. And then they beat Timberlake 3-1 last night, and they will be at Priest River on the 3rd. Lumberjack football, they're playing Bonners Ferry night. Next week, they will be playing, next week, St. Mary's will be playing Grangeville. We've got the national anthem coming up. I'm going to turn up our crowd mic, and we'll see if we can get the pep band's rendition of the national anthem on the air. The color guard coming out to present the colors. We'll send it down to our crowd mic and see if we can't pick up the action. Very nicely done national anthem by the St. Mary's High School Pep Band. Looking at some college action, the Vandals beat Sacramento State last week 36-27. They were at Eastern Washington tomorrow at 1 p.m. Boise State beat San Diego State 34-31 last week. They will be at Memphis tomorrow. The Seahawks beat the Panthers 37-27 last week. They will be at the Giants on Monday Night Football. And hey, new this year, Lumberjack or Coffee Radio carrying Seattle Kraken hockey, and they will play their final preseason game on the air on the 6th of October. And the Kraken will be hosting the Oilers. So the teams now kind of huddled up, getting their
We're going to introduce the Badgers defense.
Introductions, getting ready for the introductions. Sounds like the Badgers are being introduced as a team, possibly, or is it as their starters? I'm not sure. Is that you're introducing Alex Taylor, number 21, Devin Seepy, number six. Then they've got Trey Bateman. They're introducing him, number
Brody Rice,
20. Then we've got Brody Rice, number 15.
Bradley Bennett.
We got Bradley Bennett, who is number 23. Again, I'm not sure if this is just introducing the team or if these are starters. That player was number, I think that was 0, Heitler.
And number 32 is Matthias Gardner.
Logan Thorne.
Number 57, it is Taylor Dodd.
Shiloh Berry.
Number 77, Logan Thorne. Number 68, Shiloh Berry.
And Colton Rude.
And number, let's see if I remember him by heart, 55, Colton Rude. I believe that is the starters for the Badgers.
Josh Tavares and David Kuhn. And now, by their choice, the St. Maries Lumberjacks.
Gotta get my Hubble stats program updated. Hopefully that doesn't take too long.
The Jacks are coached by Greg Rouse. The JV coach is Jim
I've got to get the stats up and running, as most of our local or fans and stuff know, or they may not know, but I have been tagged in doing the official stats for the Lumberjacks. The Badgers coached by Danny Swift. St. Mary's coached by Greg Rouse.
For the Badgers, Kurt Randall Bayer.
Got the captains meeting with the referees. Number 1, St. Mary's, Eli Gibson. Number 0, Roan Ford. Number 4, it is Julian Grimaldo, and I believe it was 65 of Riley Abel. For the Badgers, number 15 of Brody Rice. It is the 0 of Treitler, Matt Treitler. The 55 of Colton Rude, and the number 20 of Trey Bateman, the captains for the Bonners Ferry Badgers. Both teams going over ground rules, of course, with the officials. And we'll see what happens. There's a light breeze today going from east to west, not very heavy. It rained a little bit during the JV game, not a ton, but just a little bit. Field's a little bit wet from the rain over the weekend, over the couple of days this week. Lumberjacks in their green and gold uniforms, gold helmets, black pants. The visiting Badgers all white with blue numbers. Looking pretty sharp. I understand they got some new uniforms just last week. So the Badgers looking good in their uniforms here this evening. Looks like the Lumberjacks won the toss. And Lumberjacks have deferred to the second half. They will kick off. The Badgers will receive the opening kick. They'll receive it on the east goal line, or on the east side of the field. St. Mary's, or the Badgers, will be going left to right on your radio dial.
Stand, remove their hats, and have a moment of silence for Craig Kemp. May he rest in peace.
We had a quick honoring of Coach Craig Teff there before we get things going. Lumberjacks getting pumped up on the sideline. The Badgers here on the near side getting their chant here before things get going. Once again, it's Friday Night Lights, homecoming from St. Mary's for the Lumberjacks as they take on the Bonners Ferry Badgers. And once again, welcoming in the listeners on 1450 KBFI in Bonners Ferry. The kicker for the Lumberjacks is Riley Abel. Back deep to return for the Badgers. It is the 0 of Treitler and the 32 of Gardner. They wait at about their own 15-yard line. The official hands the ball to Riley. He tees that ball up. We'll see what the Lumberjacks do on this opening kickoff. St. Mary's likes to sometimes onside And sometimes they kick it deep. Just never know what they're going to do. Lumberjacks approach. It's going to be kicked off by Kyson Watts. Takes a bounce. Getting the ball for the Badgers is Taylor. And that's where the Badgers will have it at the, hang on there, at the 49 on their own side of the field.
The 10 Badgers from their own 49.
That was Alex Taylor. The Badgers quickly up the line of scrimmage now. They've got one receiver to the near side, one receiver to the top of the formation, I formation, two running backs in the backfield behind Rice. Rice takes the snap, hands it off second man through. He finds a little bit of room to run, shakes around a couple Lumberjack tackles. He picks up about 9 before being brought down by Grimaldo. I don't have a 0 in here. So it's about a 7-yard pickup, tackled by Grimaldo. Same formation for the Badgers. Working on the far side of the field. The snap, the handoff, and not really much there, maybe a yard. Treitler once again on the carry. No gain for him.
Ball's on the Lumberjack 44.
Not sure who made that tackle for the Lumberjacks. One receiver at the bottom, one receiver at the top of the formation. Two running backs in the backfield. Rice surveys the defense, takes the snap, hands it off. Coming in to stop the running back short is Watts, number 51. And again, it was Treitler with the carry.
It's going to be short. It's going to be 4th and 3.
Might have
51 makes a tackle, but he's not on.
Might have picked up a yard. That's still 4th and about 3 yards for the Badgers. They are on Lumberjack side of the field. They're going to go for it. One receiver to the near side, one to the top of the formation. Two running backs in the backfield. Brody Rice under center for the Badgers. Takes the snap, hands it off. Treitler again, and coming in to stop him short of the line to gain is Cole Darnold. He picks up about 2 yards, but doesn't get there, and the Lumberjacks will hold on 4th down, and St. Mary's will take over. 1st and 10 from about their own 43-yard line. So St. Mary's takes over on offense. Lumberjacks bring one wide receiver to the near side. That's Julian Grimaldo. Top of the formation is Wyatt Holmes. In the backfield is Trey Gibson. Under center, Jack Barr, the quarterback. Takes a snap, going to fake the handoff. Looks deep to Grimaldo. He has a step, turns around, makes the catch. Can't step out of the tackle, but he has the ball to the 21 of Bonners Ferry, and the Lumberjacks flip the script. They run the ball a lot. They come out, try the deep pass, and they hit it right off the bat. Complete to Grimaldo. A big play by St. Mary's to get things rolling. That was a 37-yard catch to Grimaldo. One receiver to the near side for the Lumberjacks. Barta takes a snap, hands it off to Gibson. Gibson met in the hole, though. He's going to be brought down after a short gain by Trey Bateman. Lumberjacks testing the middle of that defensive line of the Badgers. Didn't find much there as the Badgers ready for it. 2nd down and 10 from the Lumberjack 21-yard line, or from the Badgers 21-yard line. St. Mary's goes back to one receiver to the top, one receiver to the bottom. Gibson in the backfield. Pistol formation for Barta. Pitches it out to Gibson. Gibson gets the edge down the sideline, taken down about the 5 as he's tackled by the number 6 of Steffi. And the Lumberjacks get a pretty decent gain. I think it's even a 1st down. right down to the Lumberjack to the 5-yard line of Bonner's Ferry. 16-yard pickup for Gibson. First and goal for the Jacks from the Bonner's 5. St. Mary's comes out with Grimaldo to the near side. Top of the formation is Wyatt Holmes. Barta goes back under center. Takes the snap, pitches it to Gibson. He's looking to the other side. Gets some good blocking, steps out of a tackle, and walks into the end zone on the far side. And the Lumberjacks strike first here tonight against the Badgers on a 5-yard run by Trey Gibson. 6-0 Lumberjacks lead, 8:19 to go, first quarter. St. Mary's see if they go for 2 here, which I think they are since they're huddled up. Looks like we've got Hayden DeFort in the backfield. Barta goes under center, takes a snap, little quick throw into the corner. Oh, little miss communication there maybe on the route, and that one is going to be no good. But the Lumberjacks strike first, 6-0. They lead over the Badgers, 8:19 to go. First period of play. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
The St. Maries Lumberjack Booster Club is looking for volunteers and active members to participate in the many activities the Booster Club does in support of our Lumberjacks. The Lumberjack Booster Club provides much appreciated support to Lumberjack sports programs and is always looking for new active members and new ideas. The Booster Club is currently in need of new officers as well as volunteers to help with the Hall of Fame banquet and auction, spirit building, senior night, and more. Anyone interested can contact Lynn Masterson at 208-568-1802 or just come to a meeting at the fire station.
And we are back. Early first quarter of play. St. Mary's scores on their first possession. They lead 6-0 over the Badgers. Riley Abel gets ready to line up the team for the kickoff here. Back deep for the Badgers, the number 32 once again of Matthias Gardner. He's a junior. And on the other side, it is Treitler. A little bit of a short kick again. It was kicked by Tyson Watts. Going to be picked up by the number 21, Alex Taylor, right at about the 50. So that's where they will take over.
First and 10 Badgers at the midfield strike.
Badgers up to the line of scrimmage. They take 4 wide receiver set, 2 to the near side, 2 to the top of the formation. Brody Rice in the shotgun takes the snap, hands it off to Treitler. He finds a hole, and making the touchdown saving tackle for the Lumberjacks is Hayden DeFort, but a big pickup for Treitler. He's going to take that one up to the 38-yard line of St. Mary's. Badgers up to the line of scrimmage, 2 to the near side, 2 to the top of the formation for wide receivers. One man goes in motion. The snap, going to hand it off to Treitler again. He finds some room off that edge on the left side. Brought down by a couple of Lumberjacks there. And the number 5 for St. Mary's is Year out on the tackle.
5-yard gain. It's going to be 2nd and 5 now.
So it's 2nd and 5 now for the Badgers. Onto the Lumberjack side of the field. Again, 2 receivers to the near side, 2 to the top of the formation. Brody Rice in the shotgun. Has a man in motion from right to left, and then we get movement on the offensive line. Moving a little early there is Ty Aitken. So a false start will take that 5-yard back away from the Badgers.
Remains 2nd and 10 now. Once again, the Badgers have 2 receivers to the near side. That's Hyatt. And I can't see the other wide receiver. Top of the formation, 2 wide receivers as well. Rice in the shotgun takes the man into motion. Brock Anderson goes with him, and he keeps it himself. He's going to get the edge. The quarterback, Rice, down the sideline. He's trying to juke out Julian Grimaldo, but he can't quite get past Julian, but still a big run on the quarterback keeper down the near sideline.
Rice with another Badger first down.
That ball taken down to the 15-yard line. A 23-yard pickup for the Badgers. Badgers take 3 receivers to the top of the formation, this time 1 to the near side. Rice in the shotgun, takes the snap, hands off to Treitler. Treitler, though, going to be met at about the line of scrimmage. Again, getting in there is Isaiah Gustav. Looks like no gain. And the Badgers will have 2nd and 10 from the Lumberjacks 15. Badgers have 1 wide receiver to the top, 1 to the bottom. Shotgun for Rice, a running backs on each side of him. And we got a bunch of flags. And they're going to say the Badgers flinched up front, illegal procedure, and another snap, another pre-snap penalty against the Badgers. They'll move them back 5 more. Or move them back 5 yards once again, I should say. But it is going to be now 2nd and 15 from the Lumberjack 20. So the Badgers hurting themselves a little bit. They had a nice drive going, but a couple of penalties here set them back. 5:45 to go, first quarter. St. Mary's leads 6-0. Badgers driving. They bring 2 receivers to the near side, 2 to the top. A running back split out to the left of Rice. Rice in the shotgun. Rice takes the snap, looks to throw, surveys, has time, loses the ball out of his hands. I think the Lumberjacks might have recovered, and they did, as falling on the ball for the Lumberjacks is the number 70 of Jackson Mantell. Rice looking to throw that ball, and it slipped out of his hands, and it ends up being a turnover for the Badgers. Jackson Mantell jumps on that. St. Mary's has the ball at their 20-yard line. St. Mary's comes in, everybody all tight, heavy formation, handoff, far side of the formation. Gibson gets some room to run, and he's going to get to the far sideline. I'm pretty sure he picks up a first down. Nice hard running by Gibson. He's going to take that ball to the 43-yard line of St. Mary's still. They're still on their own side of the field. But it's a 23-yard pickup, and it was Matthias Gardner with the tackle for the Badgers. St. Mary's this time bring 1 receiver to the near side. Everybody else in tight. Pistol takes the snap to Barta. Barta hands it off to Gibson. Gibson tries to get through the line, hops over a couple of bodies on the ground, and then is wrapped up. He's going to gain a couple.
Tackle is made by Trey Bateman.
Trey Bateman on the tackle for the Badgers. And it's a gain of 2 yards for Gibson up the middle. 2nd and 8 for St. Mary's, just about to their own 45-yard line. Julian Grimaldo comes down to the near side of the wide receiver. Wyatt Holmes, top of the formation. Barta in the pistol, takes the snap. Looks to throw. He's going to go to the 4 in the flat. He catches it at the 50, down to the 40, still on his feet. Steps out of bounds, though. Wasn't quite paying attention to where he was on the boundary. And he's going to be out of bounds at about the 37-yard line, 36-yard line of Bonners.
And that's another Lumberjack.
The 18-yard pickup on the completion from Grimaldo to DeFort. Down to the Badger. Oh, yeah, that's not right.
46-yard line. Going to be a pitch out to Gibson. Gibson takes it to the far side, and he's going to get a yard or two before he's upended by Gardner.
Gibson carries, gets a yard, second down to 9.
32 of Gardner makes that tackle for the Badgers. Second and 9 for the Lumberjacks. At the 41-yard line. One receiver to the near side, one to the top of the formation. Barter with the pistol snap, pitches it out to Gibson. Badgers had a couple of guys on him, but Gibson shutting tacklers down to the 30, into the 15. Actually, yeah, down to the 20, then to the 15. He's still dragging Bonners Ferry players. And Trey Gibson just was juking left and right all the way down to about the 6-yard line.
And that's another Lumberjack. Tackle was made by Alex Taylor.
A big gain by Gibson. First and 10 on about their 7. The tackle made by Alex Taylor. 34-yard pickup for Gibson. St. Mary's breaks the huddle up to the line of scrimmage. One receiver to the near side, one to the top of the formation. That's Gustav. Going to take the snap, hands it off to Gibson. Gibson looking for room to run up the middle, still on his feet. Badgers trying to keep him out of the end zone, and they are going to do so.
Gibson's the ball carrier.
But he's going to get it inside the 5, down to about the 4-yard line. A pickup of 4 yards for Gibson. Brings up second and goal to go. So I've got to find out who number 5 is for St. Mary's. J.J. Yearout is who's on my roster. He was one that was in here, has been out there on a couple of plays. But Yearout, I think, is not playing right now because he is J.J. Yearout. He is injured. Pistol formation for the Lumberjacks. Hand off to Gibson, and Gibson's going to walk in up the middle on the touchdown run. And the Lumberjacks have 2 possessions, 2 scores. They take the lead 12-0 over the Badgers with 2:07 to go in the first quarter of action. Lumberjacks looking to go for 2 here. Once again, homecoming night. We'll give you the royalty nominees here sometime before halftime. Might wait until halftime. We'll see what happens. Lumberjacks in heavy formation. Everybody in tight. Gibson in the backfield. Bart is going to keep it himself, but we get a flag, and it might be a false start on St. Mary's, and it is. So Lumberjacks will back it up and try it again. This time it'll be from the 8-yard line. This time St. Mary's spreads 2 wide receivers out. We've got one to the top, one to the bottom. Gustav to the near side, Holmes to the top. Going to be a back corner fade to Wyatt Holmes, and Wyatt Holmes makes a diving catch at the back of the end zone. 2-point conversion is good. And Wyatt Holmes makes the catch in the back corner. And the Lumberjacks lead 14-0 over the Badgers. 2:07 to go in the first quarter. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Looking for future leaders we can believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Idaho. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibility, being a good role model, and it's about respect. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
Archer's ID is not only a proud...
And we are back. I apologize there. Almost got caught not paying 100% attention there. Lumberjacks lead it. 2:07 to go in the first quarter. St. Mary's up 14-0 over the visiting Badgers here on homecoming night. St. Mary's set to kick off. Riley Abel lines up the Lumberjacks. See if St. Mary's tries the old onside again, or if they kick it deep. Tyson Watts has also been doing a couple of kicks here. And it's going to be Tyson Watts with the kick again. It's going to be picked up right at the 50. And that's going to be the number 79, Loretto, recovering that for the Badgers.
Loretto recovers the kick for the Badgers.
So the Badgers will take over 1st and 10 on the 50. Badgers come out with 2 receivers to the near side, 2 to the top of the formation. Brody Rice in the shotgun with a single back flanked off to the left of him. Surveys, takes a look at the Lumberjack defense, takes the snap, fakes the handoff, rolls to throw it. He's looking deep, and it's going to be a little bit overthrown. Intended receiver was the number 2 of Hyatt. In coverage was Brock Anderson. It kind of looked like Hyatt almost thought that wasn't going to be as deep of a pass, maybe, as it was about. He kind of slowed up a little bit and ended up having Brock Anderson kind of run into him. 2nd down and 10 for the Badgers on the 50. This time they have 1 receiver to the top, 1 receiver to the bottom. They go back to the I formation with Brody Rice under center. 2 running backs in the backfield, hands it off to Treitler. Treitler tries to get through, and he does for a moment. He's going to pick up about 4. First man there on the tackle, it looks like the number 5 or 6. I might be thinking the 5 is number 6. It might be number 6. Probably Cole Darnold on the tackle. About 4-yard pickup. Once again, same formation, 2 running backs in the backfield, 1 wide receiver split to each side of the formation. Rice under center, takes the snap, fakes the handoff. He's going to look across the middle, intended for the number 20 of Bateman, but a little bit high, comes off of Bateman's fingertips, and Grimaldo, a safety for the Lumberjacks, tried to plant his foot and come back at it. He almost had a pick there, but he just got a little bit too far to the other side. It's just an incomplete pass in the end, but that was really close to a pick for the Lumberjacks, as that one just off the tip. It was a little bit high, intended for Verrilman. Brings up 4th and 6, and Verrilman will come back to punt for the Badgers. Going back for the Lumberjacks is Gibson. Going back is Grimaldo, and St. Mary's going to get off sides here. Rolling forward a little itchy there to get off that snap, and it's going to cost St. Mary's 5 yards. It'll bring up 4th and 1, and the Badgers are going to change it up, I'm sure, and go for it here on 4th and short. Looks like it's actually about 4th and 2. The ball at about the 42-yard line of St. Mary's. So the Badgers come back out with their offense. 2 receivers to the top, 2 receivers to the bottom. And again, it's going to be Rice in the shotgun. His running back flanked to the right of him. Rice takes the snap, hands it off, but man, the backfield ball comes loose. I'm not sure who came up with it. It was Freddie Plant on the hit. And the Lumberjacks will take over, no gain, maybe even a loss there. As St. Mary's will have the ball on their own 45-yard line. So it was actually a loss of about 3 yards. And St. Mary's takes over. 1st and 10 on their own 45. 1 receiver to the bottom. Grimaldo to the bottom. Wyatt Holmes, I believe, to the top. Barta under center. Gibson in the backfield. Going to hand it off to Gibson. Coming to the near side. Looking for some blockers. He's going to be slung down after about a 9-yard pickup as Verrilman gets the tackle. Call it about an 8-yard. It was actually Bateman on the tackle, not Verrilman. Verrilman is number 72. I've been given the wrong player there a couple times. Sorry about that. Once again, same formation for the Lumberjacks. 1 receiver to the near side. Pistol formation, though. Barta looks to throw. He's going to step back, and he slips a little bit as he's trying to set to throw that ball, and he just kind of shovels it out there, looking for I think it was Brebner, and the ball comes up short. It's incomplete. And that was basically just a kind of a bad deal there as Barda's foot slipped out from underneath him as he tried to plant to throw that. So it's 3rd and 2 on the 47 of Bonner's Ferry. Grimaldo to the near side for St. Mary's receivers with, I believe it's Holmes to the top of the formation. Barda back under center, man in motion. Going to hand it to Gibson. Gibson looking to get that first down, slips out of another tackle, gets across the line again. He's going to have enough for the first down, I believe. Took a couple of Badgers to bring him down. And we have an injured Badger back behind the play.
And that's another Lumberjack.
As he is getting checked on. First down for the Lumberjacks up to the 45. Let's see if we're going to take a break here or not while they tend to the injured Badger player. We've got 33 seconds left in the first quarter of play. St. Mary's lead 14-0 over the visiting Badgers. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Supporter of Lumberjack sports, but a proud supporter of the St. Mary's community and shopping locally. When you shop local, you help businesses support other local businesses, as well as helping your local businesses to provide jobs. Did you know that local business taxes help maintain communities and counties by fixing roads and maintaining recreation facilities? Local business owners invest in the community and have a vested interest in the future of our communities. So won't you help Archie's IGA by supporting your local businesses and shop locally? Oh yeah, and let's not forget those Lumberjacks.
And we are back, and they're still checking out the injured player for the Badgers. Now he is up, and the player is Colton Rude. He is a senior. We hope that he will be all right as they help get him to the sideline for the Badgers. I'm thinking he must be the center for Bonner's Ferry because down here on the sideline warming up is Ty Aitken. He has given some snaps to Hyatt. So I'm assuming that Rude might be the center. So once again, we hope that he turns out to be okay. As we get back to action, one receiver to the near side, one to the top of the formation. Wyatt Holmes up top, Grimaldo to the bottom, man in motion. Pistol snap to Barda and a whistle. I don't see a flag. Nope, there must be one somewhere. It's going to be a false start on St. Mary's.
False start against the Lumberjack. It's a 5-yard penalty.
First penalty, I believe, against the Lumberjacks in this one. Makes it 1st and 15, backs the ball back up to the 50-yard line. 18 seconds left in the first quarter of play. Once again, the Jacks lead 14-0 over the Badgers. St. Mary's out of their break their huddle up to the line of scrimmage. Once again, same formation. Barda in the pistol, man in motion. Going to get the snap, hand it off to Gibson. Gibson looks for room on the far side. He's got a little bit. He's got the penalty yardage back plus some. Down the far side, looks like about a 14-yard pickup. Bateman on the tackle, I believe.
Bateman on the tackle.
Going to be a big gain for St. Mary's at the end of the first quarter, though. End of the first quarter, St. Mary's leads it 14-0. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Janelle Martin Holmes, your Farm Bureau insurance agent in St. Mary's, is a proud Lumberjack supporter because they're her hometown team. When it comes to insurance, that's also one reason so many people in St. Mary's choose Farm Bureau insurance. They have a complete line of insurance products, including auto, home, commercial, and life, plus they have great customer service and competitive rates. And they're also a local company with local agents right here in St. Mary's. So let's hear it for our hometown team. Contact Janelle Martin Holmes, your local Farm Bureau insurance agent in St. Mary's at 105 North 8th Street, St. Mary's.
Yeah, we are back. It was actually a 16-yard gain for Gibson, and he picks up the Lumberjack first down to the Badger 34-yard line. So it's 1st and 10 for the Lumberjacks into the second quarter of play. St. Maries leads 14-0 over the visiting Badgers. Once again, welcoming in the crowd listening in Bonners Ferry on 1450 KBFI AM. Homecoming night here for the Lumberjacks. St. Maries breaks the huddle up to the line of scrimmage. We've got one receiver to the near side. It is going to be Holmes. To the top is Grimaldo. Pistol formation. Barta takes a man in motion. Going to hand it off to Gibson. Gibson looks for the edge. We've got a flag, and Gibson's not going to get a whole lot there. There is a flag, though, probably in the area of a hold, and it is going to be a hold against St. Maries. It's going to be a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. They'll move that ball back to the 44-yard line. 1st and 20 for the Lumberjacks. Again, this is where St. Maries has a little bit of trouble sometimes. It's been one of their Achilles heels in games is where they get a good drive going and they shoot themselves in the foot with penalties. One receiver to the near side, one to the top of the formation. Man in motion. Going to be a quick little throw out to the flat to Grimaldo. Makes the catch, but he's going to be tackled in the open field. Nice tackle by Gardner. It's a short gain on the catch by Grimaldo. 3 or 4 yards there.
Gardner with a nice tackle on the play for the back.
Not even, doesn't look like it really looks like it's only given about a 2-yard pickup. So it's 2nd and about 18 for St. Mary's. Same formation. We've got a bad snap. The ball's on the ground. Barta looking to make something happen out of it. He's going to throw it over the top to Gibson. And Gibson's getting tackled as the ball did get tipped, so there's no PI or anything like that. But that was a heads up by Barta to be able to get a hold of that ball on the ground, not just try to fall on it. And a little bit dangerous as well, but he was able to get the ball back out and try to make something happen, but just couldn't quite get the completion. It was kind of a blown play. But again, usually you'll see a guy just dive down to try to cover that ball up, but Barta picked that thing up back to back out, had a little bit of time. Everybody was kind of confused, just couldn't find anybody open. 3rd down and 18 for the Lumberjacks. Barta rolls out to the near side, looking to throw. He's going to throw it across to Gibson. Gibson makes the catch, sheds off one tackler, gets to about the 41, but it's going to be short, well short of the 1st down. It's going to only be a 2-yard pickup after all that work. The tackle was made by the sophomore defensive back, Devin Steppe. And the Lumberjacks will have it 4th and 16. Lumberjacks looking like they're going to go for it, even though it's 4th and long. They are on Bonners Ferry side of the field. One receiver to the top of the formation, one to the near side. Near side wide receiver this time is Aiden Yearout. And it looked like a direct snap to Gibson. It was a fake punt is what it was. The Badgers were not fooled by it. Gibson picks up about a yard, but that's it. And the Badgers take over on the turnover on down. So the Badgers have the ball
from their own 40.
1st and 10 from their own 40-yard line after St. Mary's turns the ball over on downs. And again, like I said, the penalties really stymied that drive for St. Mary's. When you get deep into an opponent's territory and then you're at 1st and 10, then you get that holding call, put you back at 1st and 20. You still have 4 downs, so it's not as bad, but you've got to make something happen on those downs in order to get that 1st down. One receiver to the near side for the Badgers, one to the top of the formation. Brody Rice goes under center, takes the snap, hands it off. It's Treitler. He tries to get the edge. He's got a whole host of Lumberjacks on him. It looks like one of them is Hayden DeFort. Short gain, maybe a yard or 2. Well, it's going to be about a 3-yard gain, actually. I'm going to give Hayden DeFort the tackle for now. Brings up 2nd and 7 for the Badgers. Got 9 minutes to go in the half. St. Mary's leads 14-0 here. One receiver to the near side for Bonners Ferry. Looks like they're putting one receiver to the top of the formation. Split back, so we've got shotgun for Rice. He's got a receiver on each side of him. The snap, the fake handoff, one-way crossbuck action. A nice little run there by the Badgers. Brock Anderson, first contact for the tackle. The carry by the number 2 of Hyatt.
Hyatt on the carry for the Badgers. Brock Anderson on the tackle.
Picks up maybe 2 yards. Third and about 6 for Bonners Ferry. On their 44-yard line. One receiver to the near side, one to the top of the formation. Rice under center, 2 running backs lined up behind him. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, rolls to the near side, looking to throw. Good coverage. St. Mary's collapsing on him. He's going to scramble, and he's going to get about a yard before he's tackled out of bounds by Cole Darnold.
Darnold makes the tackle on the quarterback, Brady Rice. Fourth and 2 now from the Lumberjack.
So it's fourth. Might have picked up a few more than that, actually. So he's going to get that ball up to the 47 or so. Brings up 4th and about 3, and the Badgers going for it. One running back in the backfield. And go to a heavy formation, kind of like the same as the Lumberjacks. One receiver each side. Rice under center. One guy moves in. We get a penalty flag now, and it's going to be a illegal procedure against the Badgers. So they'll move back to about 4th and 7 or so. See if that changes their play call at all. Rice comes over, gets the call from his coach. Takes it back out to the huddle. Looks like the Badgers still going to go for it. Actually, looks like Bateman might be lining up to punt. Watch the fake, though. Back deep for Lumberjacks is Gibson. Waits at about the 26, 27-yard line. And it is going to be a punt that's going to go out of bounds. At about the Lumberjack 30, or the Lumberjack 20. No, they're going to, where are they marking that out of bounds at? Trying to see where they're marking the ball out at. It's close to the 29. So right at the Lumberjack 30-yard line. No return on that one. And St. Mary's will start 1st and 10. One receiver to each side of the formation. Pistol snap, handoff to Gibson. Gibson trying to get out of a tackle there. Can't quite get out of it as Bateman had a hold of him and wasn't letting go. No gain on the carry. Brings up 2nd and 10 for the Lumberjacks from their own 30-yard line. Once again, the score 14-0, second quarter, 7:30 to go before halftime. St. Mary's looks like they're bringing a receiver to the near side. That is Brock Barta. Top of the formation is Grimaldo. In the pistol is Jack Barta. He's looking to throw. Throws it over the top. Finds the 22 of DeFort to the sideline. And he's going to be tackled into Badger territory, but there's a late flag, and I think it might be a late hit. I think DeFort might have been out of bounds. So I think they're going to be tacking some yardage on here. Catch was made and taken down to about. So it was a personal foul on the Badgers. I think they said it'll be 15 yards more. St. Mary's has it at the 40. Barta looking to throw. He's going to get the throw out. Oh, just as Barta was being tackled, He gets the throw to the fort, and the fort just about catches it, but couldn't quite get a hold of it. Trying to see what the penalty is, though. It's going to be against St. Mary's. Incomplete pass from Barta. There was a penalty, though, for St. Mary's for ineligible receiver. I think it's a 5-yard penalty. Nope, they're going to actually decline the penalty. So it's 2nd and 10 for St. Mary's. One receiver at the top. Hand off to Gibson. Gibson finds a big hole up the middle. Stiff arms one man down to the 25. Breaks free. Gibson's taking it to the house. Touchdown, Lumberjacks on the big run by the senior running back, Trey Gibson. That's about a 46-yard run for Trey as he takes it to the house. And again, Gibson just showing and doing what he does best, breaking tackles. There was probably 3 or 4 Badgers that got hands on him. And if you don't get good contact and wrap Trey up, there's a good chance he's going to just shrug you off and head on to the end zone. St. Mary's going for 2. Barta in the pistol. Takes the snap. Looks to throw. A little shoulder shake. Now he's going to try to keep it. Instead, he goes over the middle as he's seen somebody come open. Can't get the completion. But a good heads-up play by Barta, though, as he did try to see a receiver before he took off running and couldn't quite get it to him in time. 6:53 to go before halftime. St. Mary's leads at 20-0 over the visiting Badgers. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Tax time is here again. I know. It's not your favorite. But at H&R Block, tax time is our favorite time of year. It's when our tax pros get to do what they love the most, help people. By getting to know you, they can make sure your return gets done right. It's not just about numbers, boxes, and forms. It's about personal care. So you get every credit and deduction you deserve. And with an average of 10 years experience, our tax pros get your taxes done right. Just one of the many ways Block has your back.
And we are back. It is homecoming night. The Lumberjacks lead the Badgers 20-0 here in the first half. We have just under 7 to go. The royalty nominees for homecoming night tonight, for Queen, it is Lily Daniels, Sammy Sint, Cammie Reimel, Kara Humphrey, and Abby Wilkes. For the King, it is Trey Gibson, Brendan Green, Grant Compton, Brendan Norden, and Seth Swallows. Those are the royalty nominees. And, of course, at halftime, we'll find out who is the winner. Also at halftime, we will have our senior spotlight interview, and it features Wyatt Holmes this week. We had him on as last week's, but we had some issues with power outage in town and stuff like that, so we just wanted to rerun his. Lumberjacks to kick off. Riley Abel lines the team up. He's going to little pooch kick down. It bounces right off a Badger, and Riley Abel jumps on it, and the Lumberjacks have it at the 46-yard line.
Onside kick.
St. Mary's, that one worked perfectly as that ball bounced just right, and it came right off of a Badger player and bounced 5 yards straight back into the waiting hands of Riley Abel at the Lumberjack 46-yard line. Now it has to be one of the most perfect onside kicks the way I seen that one happen. Got just the right bounce to where the Bonners Ferry front man on their kickoff team couldn't quite field it cleanly. Bounced off his chest plate right back at Riley Abel. High snap to Barta, pulls it down, gets it to Gibson. Gibson bounces outside, trying to get the corner, gets away from a couple of tacklers, gets the edge, still on his feet, down to the 20, tries to get around another Badger tackler. He's still on his feet, and finally it takes 2 Badgers to bring him down. There was Gardner and Stolt, and another big run by the senior running back. Gibson takes up all the way down to the 12-yard line. 42-yard gallop for Gibson. He first had to avoid a tackler in the backfield as a Bonners Ferry Badger defender tried to get to his feet. and couldn't get him tripped up good enough as he just high-stepped out of it. Now we get a timeout taken by St. Mary's. I think that's somewhat to give a little bit of a breather to Gibson. 6:20 to go before halftime. St. Mary's threatening to score again deep into Badger territory. St. Mary's leads it 20-0 over the Badgers, and once again, we'll be back in 30 seconds.
Tired of wasting your money on credit card processing fees? Call Flat Creek Payments. We will help you reduce or eliminate your credit card processing fees. Take a moment to review those fees you paid last month. You know, the ones that slipped through the cracks. Now imagine having all that money back in your pocket. Sounds awesome, right? Let Flat Creek Payments make that dream a reality. Call Flat Creek Payments today, 208-695-1056. That's 208-695-1056. Flat Creek Payments.
And we're back here at Lumberjack Field. Once again, you're listening to Lumberjack Football on 1240 KOFE AM in St. Mary's and on 1450 KPFI AM in Bonners Ferry. Lumberjacks lead the Badgers 20-0 here on homecoming night. 6:20 to go in the first half, and Lumberjacks threatening 1st and 10 on the Badger 12. Trey Gibson just did a quick check, already up to 194 yards rushing on the night. Against the Wildcats, he put up 391 yards on the ground. Gibson is now over, and I forgot to mention in our pregame, and I'll get to it in a little bit because we got the play getting ready to happen. One receiver top, one bottom, handoff Gibson. Gibson, man in the backfield, sheds off the tackler, and the first man to hit him was Solt, and Gibson just kind of threw him to the side. He still ends up being only to the line of scrimmage, but that just shows you, I mean, Gibson is a tough man to bring down. Actually, looks like he might have lost a yard, or did he gain a yard? Lost a yard on the tackle. And say it was Abubakari on the tackle for the Badgers. So as I was going to say, Gibson was trying to beat his brother Eli's single-season rushing record, and I think he has done beat that. The handoff to Gibson. Gibson, Badgers right there on him, still trying to push the pile, though, and Gibson might pick up a couple of yards. Badgers all over that middle run right now. I think Eli had 1,017 yards or something like that in his senior year. I think it was his senior year, or maybe it was his junior year rushing. And Trey wants to beat that record. He had 938 yards to start this game, so I'm pretty sure he has eclipsed that record. One receiver near, one to the top, and yeah, I thought I seen a little flinch there by the Lumberjacks. They're going to move it back a little bit further. It's going to be 3rd and long for St. Mary's on the false start. And again, St. Mary's has a habit of doing that. They've got a good drive going, then they kind of shoot themselves in the foot a bit. Under 5 to go. St. Mary's leads it 20-0, first half. Clock running. St. Mary's 2nd and 16. Well, that says 3rd and 16. You're on 3rd down. I know I didn't miss it there anywhere, but I got to mess that. I'm messing up our plays. That's going to be a pass intended to go to the end zone. Yeah, there was the late flags to come out, but there was all kinds of contact on Julian Grimaldo. And there's going to be a pass interference on the Badgers. It'll be half the distance to the goal. I don't think it'll be an automatic first down, though. But it'll be 3rd and short. The ball is going to be placed on the 10. Nope, on the 9-yard line. So
Ball's on the 9-yard line of the Badgers.
St. Mary's, I think, needs to get, it's about 7 yards for a first down. It's 3rd and 9. Pitch out to Gibson. Gibson stiff arm, reverses direction, and takes it into the end zone. Gibson just was going to get stood up going the one way. He stiff arms the Badger player and reverses field of direction, goes the opposite way, and takes it into the end zone. And Trey Gibson is having a heck of a night once again here for the Lumberjacks. Skins the score 26-0 over the Badgers. The Badgers had that read pretty well. It was a run play to the left side of the line. The Badger defense collapsed down on it. But Gibson, being that big, strong running back that he is, gets himself a little bit of space and just took it back the opposite way of the play. Going to try to throw into the back end of the end zone, and it's caught by the number 25 for St. Mary's, Kyle Smith, for the 2-point conversion. And the Lumberjacks go ahead 28-0 over the Badgers with 4:11 to go in the first half. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Any adventure, any task, anytime. There's a Yamaha utility ATV for any ride and any rider. See the full lineup at St. Mary's Sun Cycle. Adventure seekers can start with the trail-tested capability and comfort of the Yamaha Grizzly lineup. For the ultimate in mid-size ATV performance, check out the Yamaha Kodiak 450. And for those who mix work and pleasure, the Yamaha Kodiak 700 line devours chores and leaves room for adventure. Find your utility ATV at St. Mary's Sun Cycle or YamahaMotorsports.com. ATVs are recommended for use only by riders aged 16 years and older. ATVs can be hazardous to operate. Yamaha recommends an approved training course. For safety and training information, see your dealer or call 1-800-887-2887. And we are back. St. Mary's leads it 28-0 over the Badgers. 4:11 to go in the first half. Lumberjacks line it up. Deep kick for St. Mary's. That's going to hook out of bounds and going to get a kickoff out of bounds by the Lumberjacks. See what the Badgers opt to do here as far as positioning. I think they'll take it. Penalty was on St. Mary's.
First and 10 Badgers from their own 35-yard line.
So the Badgers will take over on their own 35 after the kickoff out of bounds. Badgers looking to put together a drive here. Badgers bring 2 receivers to the near side, 1-2 to the top of the formation. Rice in the shotgun. He has a running back split out to his left. In the shotgun, takes the shotgun snap. Hands it off to Treitler. Treitler going to be brought down by J.J. High. Picks up about a yard. Second and 9 for the Badgers, up to their own 34-yard line. Rice comes over the sideline, gets his play from his head coach, heads back to this huddle. Up to the line of scrimmage for Bonners Ferry. 2 receivers here to the near side. You've got Bateman and Gardner on the near side. Can't tell which receivers are up to the top. There's 2 of them. Shotgun for Rice. Running back split off to his right. In the backfield with him. Taking the snap. Bobbles the handoff or the snap for a minute and then takes off with it. He's got the quarterback draw. Some room to run for Rice. He's very close to a first down, and a late flag comes in. St. Mary's maybe get called for a late hit. So he had 9 or 10 yards, Rice did. Then St. Mary's with a late hit maybe out of bounds. I'm not 100% sure. So they'll add on another 15 yards. If that is in fact the call, we'll see. No, it's going to go against Bonners Ferry. It may have been a hold.
Personal foul is a call against
or a personal foul against the Badgers. And it was after the play. And the ball is back on the 35-yard line of the Bonners Ferry. So it's third, and that is not third and 39. It is third and about 11. Badgers with a pass play here.
Hyatt on the carry.
Nope, a Hyatt carry by Hyatt.
No gain. It's third and 11, and the ball is on the 34-yard line.
And Gibson got the tackle for St. Mary's. So it's third and 11. I don't know why my stats are saying it's fourth. Third and 11. Badgers split out 3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the top of the formation. Rice in the shotgun. Has a running back flank him to the left, takes the snap, fakes the handoff. He's looking deep. He's got Bateman, but he overthrows Bateman by about 10 yards. Bateman can't get to it. Grimaldo was the closest there for the Lumberjacks. He couldn't quite get there. But Bateman was wide open down the sideline. Not sure who he blew past. Bateman, a big boy, too, going out there. He's listed as a running back. They split him out as a wide receiver on that play. And somehow he got lost by the Lumberjack secondary. And he did get open. Just didn't quite have the wheels to get underneath that ball. Rice needed to take just a little bit off of it. Badgers look like they want to punt here. Going back is Gibson. It's the snap. It's a low line drive punt. It's going to take a big Bonners Ferry roll. Gibson's going to go back, act like he's going to actually pick it up. Brave move by Gibson. Picked it up at about the 15, and he's going to be brought down at about the 27-yard line.
26-yard line.
That was a brave move by Gibson. Hyatt makes the tackle. And Lumberjacks take over, 1st and 10 on their own 26. Minute 53 to go before halftime. Lumberjacks currently lead 28-0 over the Badgers. 2 wide receivers set for the Lumberjacks. Wyatt Holmes to the near side. Grimaldo top of the formation, but it looks like, what are we getting here? I don't think it's a timeout. No, they had to get the chains set up. Chains were tangled. St. Mary's, once again. Barta under center, 2 wide receivers set. Gibson in the backfield, takes the snap, hands it off to Gibson. Gibson fumbled the ball for a minute. It's the first time I've seen Trey lose a handle. He's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, and he covers that ball back up. No gain for Trey Gibson on that one. That is the first time I've seen the ball come out of the hands of Trey this season. Might have been kind of on that handoff exchange, might have kind of been bobbling as he was going forward. Didn't get a clean clamp on it, but that ball popped out. Trey lucky to get back on it. St. Mary's not in a big rush to run plays here. 118 and counting. Breaking the huddle up to the line of scrimmage they go. Everybody in tight this time. Heavy formation for the Jacks. Barta under center. Gonna hand it off. Nope. Barta's gonna throw. Looks into the flat. Finds, I believe that's the 24 of Brebner, and he's gonna go out of bounds after making the catch. And that's going to be out of bounds at the 33.
And at 5, it's going to be 3rd and 5 now for the Jacks.
Didn't see who made the tackle for the Badgers on that one. It's going to be 3rd and about 5. Looks like it's a short 5, long 4, at about the 32-yard line of St. Mary's. Under a minute, at a minute, clock stopped out of bounds. 2 receivers set, Barta in the pistol, pitches it to Gibson. Gibson far side, gets 1 tackler off of him, has room to run to the sideline, tries to juke out of another guy's grasp, can't quite get out of his hand, and takes the ball up to about the 44.
And that's another Lumberjack.
Got a 12-yard gain for Gibson. I don't know if the clock stopped because he got out of bounds or if the clock stopped because of the first down.
First and 10 Jack.
I think he actually got out of bounds. Didn't see who made the tackle for the Badgers on the far side of the field. So they got out of bounds, got the clock stopped. St. Mary's back up to the line of scrimmage. One receiver to the near side, one to the top of the formation. Barta in the pistol. Gibson behind him, takes the snap, looks to throw, going deep. He's looking for Grimaldo. Grimaldo can't quite stretch out for it. Just overthrew him, just barely. Got to give it to the offensive line for St. Mary's. They are giving some pretty good pass protection tonight. Barta's actually getting some time to get back there and set up and throw these balls. As against some of these earlier games in the season, he's had no time to throw the ball. So St. Mary's getting some pass protection work in practice over the week, I guess, and it's paying off. Second down and 10 for the Lumberjacks from their own 44-yard line. 44 seconds left on the clock. I'm not sure how many timeouts St. Mary's has left here in this first half. One receiver to the near side, one to the top of the formation. Actually, no, one receiver to the top, everybody else in tight. The snap. Oh, illegal procedure there probably on the Lumberjacks. They'll march it back 5 yards. Makes it second and 15 from their own 39-yard line. Again, Lumberjack, those penalties here and there, they can kill your drive. That one wasn't a good one to have happen necessarily. Takes away a little bit of that momentum because now you're behind the chain. Bateman comes over to Coach Swift, gets a little bit of information from him. One receiver to the near side, one to the top of the formation. The snap. Barta looks to throw. No, it's going to be the pitch to Gibson. Gibson stiff arms one man, gets around the edge. Big block, but it's going to be Barta comes in and lays. I don't know if it was a block in the back or what, but Brock Barta going to get called on that one. It was a big hit. But it's going to come back. Gibson had about 4 yards.
Block in the back is a call.
And it's going to be a block in the back penalty. I think Barta, he wasn't totally behind him, but we were actually joking about that. And said that Brock likes to get out there and hit, but he does get a few flags here and there, and he's not a big guy. Both those Barta brothers, they're twins, only about 5'7", maybe 140 pounds. One receiver to each side of the formation, second and 35, or they were on the 35-yard line. That's going to be caught. It was second and 20 is what it was. There's a complete pass. Ooh, I don't know who made that catch, darn it. Lumberjacks get that ball up to the 45. They call a timeout. The gain of 10, roughly. Conrad Hyatt on the tackle. So it brings up third and 10 from the Lumberjack 45-yard line with 3 seconds on the clock. St. Mary's up the line of scrimmage. Officials over here kind of having a talk. Waiting to see. Now they break up their huddle. Everybody heads up to their appropriate spots. One receiver to the near side, one to the top of the formation for the Jacks. Barta goes under center. Takes the snap. Hands it off to Gibson. It's a little flea flicker action. Hayden DeFort with the pass. It's going to be tipped away and incomplete, intended for Grimaldo. So the trickery didn't work. But the Lumberjacks go into the half with a 28-0 lead over the Badgers here at halftime. We'll take a 1-minute break, and we'll come back with our senior spotlight.
Fuse Ace Hardware wants to invite you to come in and take a look. Hughes isn't just about hardware. Whether you need dish soap and sponges to clean up after your husband's guys' night or storage solutions for your wife's shopping addiction, you can find it at Hughes. Come see the difference. Everything you need, from a blow dryer to replace the one your toddler drops in the toilet to a bathroom scale to help your hubby stay on his fitness goal. Hughes Ace Hardware is the place to get the products you need and the help you want all the time, every time.
You always hear on the radio, cross the bridge to savings. But it's true. St. Mary's Harvest Foods has what you need when you need it. And if you don't see it, then just ask one of the friendly staff and they will gladly help you find what you need. From meat, super fresh produce, and dairy, St. Mary's Harvest Foods will save you big on the things you need the most. No time to cook tonight? Then check out the hot deli for something quick for dinner. St. Mary's Harvest Foods, where you truly can cross the bridge to savings.
So we have our senior spotlight, and our senior spotlight today is Mr. Wyatt Holmes. Thanks for talking to us.
You're welcome.
Wyatt, we'll get started. What sports do you play?
I play football, basketball, and baseball.
Which sport is your favorite and why?
I like baseball and basketball. My favorite. I'm just out here playing football just for fun. Get out, run around with my friends, get some anger out, really. But I like basketball, just the constant movement, and baseball I've been playing my whole life, so I grew up with it, and just always had a love for it.
What has playing sports taught you?
Respect to other people, respect the elders. Like when they tell you what to do it. Like it will help me later on in life with a job. When they tell me, hey, go run a lap or we're doing a drill, then it's the same thing as, hey, I got paperwork for you to do. You got to do it. So it also taught me a lot just out of life, just really big on just making me a better person in general, not a better athlete.
Now, what's your favorite thing about playing sports?
Really just getting out and hanging out with friends. I love the competition. I'm always competing with anyone. You could ask Trey, Seth, all my friends, my brother. I always like competing. Even when it's not a competition, I always try to make it one.
What's your least favorite thing?
My least favorite thing. I mean, sometimes practice sucks just because of, when you're not running things right or you can't get a drill down, you have to get punished for it running. So, I mean, that kind of sucks. But other than that, I still wake up tomorrow and I still got practice, so it don't really matter.
Do you have a favorite pro sports team and player?
I mean, growing up in California and Los Angeles, so I'm a big Angels fan. I know my dad, big Dodgers fan growing up because Angels weren't really a thing when he was a kid. But being so close to Angel Stadium, me and my family would always go get tickets and go watch a game. So I grew up and watching like Albert Pujols and Mike Trout. So I'll probably go with Mike Trout as my favorite just because he's so young and has evolved the game in such a good way. Just a great player.
All right. What are your goals this year on and off the field or court?
I mean, always get better is the real days. Going to practice and leaving practice just even if it's just a tiny bit better, if you got one thing down or if you got nothing down, as long as you're trying and just trying to get better every day, that's the real goal for me, really.
All right. We're going to take a quick break. It's our senior spotlight with Wyatt Holmes today, and we'll be back. Jack Fuel Trucking knows that there are few things as important as wise use of our natural resources. And by utilizing the chips in the manufacturing of lumber, that is exactly what is accomplished. If you look beyond the wood chip, you see an entire community of schools, churches, and businesses, and most importantly, people. Jack Fuel Trucking believes in responsible harvesting of our natural resources. After all, if you take a close look, those aren't just chips, they're an entire community. Jack Fuel Trucking.
Do you need help finding that perfect gift? Looking for that personalized touch? Come to Jack's Pharmacy in St. Maries and let us fill your balloons. Not only does Jack's carry all of your gift and party supplies, but we're here to serve you with all your personal care items. Come in and let our personal care experts help you find just what you need from our wide selection. If we don't have it, we can get it. Plan your party at Jack's Pharmacy, your good neighbor pharmacy, where you'll receive personalized service and attention.
We have head coach Greg Rouse with we have our senior spotlight, and our senior spotlight today is Mr. Wyatt Holmes. Thanks for talking to us.
You're welcome.
Wyatt, we'll get started. What sports do you
Oh, we're just going to bring it back right here because I don't know what happened, but they did that last week in Timberlake too. I don't know if I accidentally restarted that interview or I messed it up somehow. Anyways, it is homecoming night, so we need a little bit more time here anyways on our homecoming festivities as the side-by-sides come out for the homecoming royalty. And I'm not sure, I didn't hear who they are being provided by this year. I think last year it was North Idaho Outdoor Rental Company. This year, and I think it might be the same this year. It looks like it's all Polaris is out there. So I think it's North Idaho Outdoor Rental Company here in St. Maries providing the side-by-sides for the homecoming court. And we'll get to some of that in a little bit. First half, St. Maries comes out and has established the run very well. They've actually been pretty effective with the pass game today as well. They've got some good blocking going on down by that offensive line and the pass protection for once. And the passing game not looking too bad tonight for St. Mary's as Jack Bardis 6 of 10 for 69 yards so far on the evening. St. Mary's doesn't light it up and like throw the ball a lot, but it is working for him this evening. In the ground game, Trey Gibson has 21 carries for 224 yards. He has now beat his record for his long of the season. His previous longest run was 36 yards. He is now at 46 yards. So 46 yards is his long. He also has 4 touchdowns tonight. So Gibson looking to maybe break his record that he had against Kellogg. He had 4 touchdowns against the Wildcats. Gibson now at 1,262 yards on the season, and it's only halftime of this game here tonight. Let's focus kind of on homecoming here now. Once again, the nominees for Queen is Lily Daniels, Sammy Sint, Cammie Reimel, Kara Humphrey, Abby Wilkes. For King, Trey Gibson, Brennan Green, Grant Compton, and Brendan Norden are the nominees. There will also be a Golden Axe Award tonight for businesses and also the Lumberjack Lumberjill Award. They're right now just announcing the nominees. The Lumberjack Lumberjill Award, I think, goes to the high school student, girl and boy, that showed the most spirit throughout homecoming week. The Golden Axe Award goes to the business that participated the most, or not participated the most, but that the ASB votes on for participation, dressing up, following the theme, stuff like that all week long. This has been a thing for the last 5 or 6 years, and it's been really fun. Coffee Radio, we won it a couple of years ago. Kind of surprised us, actually, but it's been a fun thing to do. We haven't really participated as much the last couple of years, but we need to get back into it and see if we can't bring that Golden Axe back to St. Mary, or back to Coffee Radio again. But it'll be fun to see who wins it tonight. There was lots of great participation from local businesses this weekend, or this week. So, as always, homecoming, very fun festivities all week long. Once again, the seniors won the overall class competitions this last week in the homecoming festivities.
Louis Daniel, daughter of Chelsea and Corey Asbury, and Jen and Adam Daniel.
And still, I think they're just about done with introductions.
Trey Gibson, son of Chris and Andy Gibson.
Of the nominees for royalty.
We have a drum roll.
Oh, they don't have a drum roll from the band.
23, homecoming Duchess.
Sammy Sint is the homecoming Duchess for 2023.
Homecoming Duke.
The Duke
Seth
is Seth Swallows.
Homecoming Princess.
Homecoming Princess goes to Cammie Reimel. Homecoming Prince is Brennan Green. Homecoming king
Trey Gibson.
goes to Trey Gibson. Not much of a surprise there to me, honestly. Trey doesn't get to go in at halftime and hear the halftime speech from the coaches in the Lumberjack locker room. 2023 Queen is Lily Daniels. So congratulations to the homecoming royalty. Once again, King and Queen, Trey Gibson and Lily Daniels, Prince and Princess, Brennan Green and Cami Reimel, Duke and Duchess, Seth Swallows, and Sammy Finn. Getting pictures and handing out flowers and all of that good stuff down there on the track.
Congratulations to all the kids and the staff for a very successful homecoming week. Way to go, you guys.
So now I'm not sure. Let's see what else. They usually, I think they said they would announce Jack and Jill. Hey, Mr. Truscott. Not much. Pretty good. How about yourself? Waiting to see if they're going to do some Jack and Jill or not. I thought there was some other introductions tonight, but maybe not. Grab a headset. No. They're getting pictures of the royalty down there. St. Mary's leads at half, 28-0 here on homecoming night. Once again, Trey Gibson on a roll tonight, 224 yards just in the first half and 4 touchdowns. We'll take a quick 1-minute break and we'll be back.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck, yes. That'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active? Definitely. Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Idaho, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Afraid to touch that breaker box? Need some rewiring done? Call the professionals at M&S Electric. With nearly 40 years experience, there's no job too big or too small. From industrial and commercial to residential and service work, M&S Electric isn't afraid. Serving Benawa, Shoshone, Kootenai, and Latah counties, M&S Electric has you covered. Overhead work, M&S can do that too with their bucket truck. M&S Electric, 408 Main Avenue, St. Mary's. Give them a call, 208-245-3890. No job too big, no job too small. We do them all. M&S Electric.
Yeah, we are back and just got the word or overheard that Shift and Grind was the Golden Axe Award winner this year. As they were, I don't think they were the winner last year, but Shift and Grind has won it before, so they get to bring the axe back to the Shift and Grind headquarters. We'll see if they keep it at the Shift and Grind down there across from IGA, or Shift and Grind down there on College Avenue in St. Mary's. Back to some numbers here. So St. Mary's scored 14 points in the first quarter, 14 points in the second quarter. All 4 touchdowns have been by Trey Gibson. So it was a 5-yard run by Gibson in the first quarter. The conversion was failed, so it was 6-0. Then it was a 4-yard run by Gibson in the second quarter. The 2-point conversion was good. That made it 14-0. In the second quarter, Trey Gibson, 46-yard run. That one was a failed 2-point conversion, gets to score 20-0. And then a 9-yard run and a good 2-point conversion by the 9-yard run by Trey Gibson and a good 2-point conversion for the Lumberjacks made it 28-0 going into the half. St. Mary's has ran 40 plays. The Badgers have ran just 24. St. Mary's has 293 yards in the first half, with the Badgers just totaling 58 yards on the game. 69 passing yards for St. Mary's. The Badgers have not connected on a pass. They have only thrown, I think, 3 so far. Rushing yards, 224 for the Lumberjacks, 58 yards on the ground for Bonners Ferry. The Lumberjacks have 12 first downs, Bonners with 2. St. Mary's 3 of 5 on third down conversions for 60%, and the Badgers are 0 for 5. Fourth down conversions, both teams 0 for 2. The Badgers have lost one turnover. That was a fumble. St. Mary's has not turned the ball over yet today, and we would hope they keep it that way. St. Mary's, the penalty bug hitting them again, though, in this one. They've got 9 penalties for 74 yards. One penalty wasn't accepted by Bonner's Ferry, so it could easily be 10 penalties for over 80 yards. The Badgers have just 5 penalties for 50 yards. Individually, Brody Rice for the Badgers, 0 for 3 passing. Brody has 3 carries for 25 yards. Treitler leads the Badgers with the rushing. I believe he has 11 carries for 31 yards. 12 yards is his longest run. Hyatt has a couple of carries for 2 yards. Looking at the Lumberjacks, Jack Barta is 6 of 10 passing for 69 yards. 37 is his long so far completion. Trey Gibson leads the team in rushing. He's really been the only one to carry the ball. 21 attempts for 224 yards, 4 touchdowns, and a long of 46. Julian Grimaldo tonight, 2 catches, 39 yards, a long of 37. Jarrett Brebner has 1 catch for 6 yards. 6 yards, 6 is long. There was one that I did miss earlier for a player. I'm not sure who it was that made the catch. Trey Gibson, 1 catch for 2 yards. And then we have a couple of players that don't show up properly in our huddle stats. So 2 other players for 22 yards in receptions. Defensive stats are off for the Lumberjacks here on this one as well, but we do have Grimaldo with 2 tackles, Darnold with 2 tackles, Gibson with 1, and Jackson Nantel has a fumble recovery for St. Mary's. Now to look at your halftime statistics. We'll take a 2-minute break and come back with more.
For all of your area high school sports schedules, updates, and recaps, including Lakeside, Kootenai, and of course, St. Mary's High School, pick up your copy of the St. Mary's Gazette Record every Wednesday. Not only will they have game recaps and highlights for area high school sports action, but local news and information. St. Mary's Gazette Record, pick up copy today.
For all your plumbing needs, call Nick's Plumbing and Heating. With 6 professional staff, you can be assured of guaranteed quality products, installation, service, and repair of all of your plumbing. So if you have plumbing needs or problems, call the good folks at Nick's Plumbing and Heating. Call 245-5460. That's 245-5460. Nick's Plumbing and Heating. Installation, service, and repair when you need it. Nick's Plumbing and Heating, St. Mary's.
When you need that morning pick-me-up before work or school, there's one place that comes to mind. It's a place that loves our community, the St. Maries Lumberjacks, and all the local businesses and people in our village. Shift and Grind in St. Maries is all about the community. Whether it's helping raise money for the Booster Club or for a family in need, the Shift and Grind family are always ready to help. So be sure to stop by Shift and Grind for your caffeinated needs. Located at 132 First Street in St. Maries, Shift and Grind says, go Lumberjack!
Cold weather is coming, and 10th Street Lumber has what you need. From super premium pellets to energy logs and fireplaces, 10th Street Lumber will help you stay warm all winter long. North Idaho energy logs and stove pellets are the best of the best. 100% natural with no chemicals and burn cleaner, hotter, and longer. If you need a new stove, 10th Street Lumber is a proud Kuma stove supplier. Kuma wood stoves are made right here in Idaho and are some of the best on the market. 10th Street Lumber in St. Mary's. Stop by today. Located on 10th and Railroad Avenue in St. Mary's.
A little scoring update in the middle of the 4th inning. It's the Mariners 3.
And we are back as we've got about 2.5 minutes before we get to the second half underway. We've got the Badgers back out on the field, the Lumberjacks back out as well, warming up. Everybody getting ready to go for the second half. St. Mary's will receive the second half kickoff. A couple of upcoming events. This one's a little ways away. It's October the 31st, and it is St. Mary's Eagles Lodge Trunk or Treat, 4:30 to 6 p.m., and it'll be at the Eagles Lodge parking lot here on Main Street in St. Mary's, so check it out. The St. Mary's Eagles Lodge, those are both for the trunk or treat. So we don't, the Eagles is looking for your candy donation. So if you want to help them
You can either have bags of candy or individually wrapped candy or treats that you can drop off at the Eagles Lodge for their trunk or treat event. Tomorrow there's going to be a community Shred It Day, Saturday, September the 30th here in St. Mary's, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Eagles parking lot. Clean out all your files in a safe way, destroy sensitive documents, and more. No metal spiral notebooks or butterfly clips, though. Staples and paper clips are okay. Sponsored by your local Eagles Fraternal Order of the Eagles, Auxiliary number 2012. Also tomorrow, the memorial service for head coach Craig Teff. It will be at 11 a.m. over at the Nazarene Church. Just as a little heads up there, too, as I was talking to somebody here in the booth during that halftime break while we were doing our homecoming royalty, that was Doug Truscott. He was a defensive coach here with the Lumberjacks for several years. All the way up, he was part of that 2016 championship coaching staff for the Lumberjacks. Hadn't seen him in a while as him and his wife moved over to down into Montana to be a little closer to family. Chase Truscott, who was a Lumberjack graduate, he graduated just the year before that championship run. And Chase is, I believe, a teacher over there in Montana. So it was nice to see Coach Truscott, and I'm sure we'll probably see a few more of them tomorrow at that memorial for Coach Teff. Teams coming back out on the field. St. Mary's will receive the second half kickoff. The Badgers will be kicking from right to left to get things started, so they will be defending the west side of the field. St. Mary's will be moving left to right, defending that east side of the field to start the second half. Once again, you are listening to Lumberjack football on 1240 KOFE St. Mary's, or maybe you're listening to Bonners Ferry Badgers football on 1450 KBFI in Bonners Ferry. We are pleased to have everybody with us here this evening for this action. Trey Gibson, he's trying to get across the field and get ready for the second half. He was still over here taking pictures. He goes sprinting across, has to get his helmet and get ready to get going. He may not even be on this kickoff here, as it looks like we're going to have DeFort and Grimaldo back deep to receive the kick, and it should be the 20 of Trey Bateman to kick off for the Bonners Ferry Badgers as we look to get things rolling here in the second half. St. Mary's lead 28-0 here on homecoming night. Bateman with the kick. They're going to try their own onside kick. And falling on it for the Lumberjacks, I believe, is Russell Brousseau at about the 46.
Brousseau recovers the onside kick for the Jacks. It will be first and 10 St. Mary's from their own.
About the 47-yard line is where St. Mary's has the ball. St. Mary's comes out with one receiver to the near side, one to the top of the formation. Going to get a pitch out. Oh, the Lumberjacks fumble it, trying to get back on it instead of falling on it. Jarrett Brebner was trying to fall on it. It doesn't fall, and he tries to pick it up instead, and the Badgers recover the Lumberjack fumble, and it is Shiloh Berry with the recovery. So the Badgers have a good field position after the fumble and turnover by the Lumberjacks. The Badgers have it at the Lumberjack 40. Two receivers to each side of the formation. Rice, shotgun, takes the handoff, looks to throw, gets a little bit of pressure, looking down the sideline. A little bit of a push off there by the offensive receiver on Wyatt Holmes. Not enough to draw a flag, but you could see he just gave a little bit of a push to try to get some separation as it was intended for Bateman. Incomplete. Down that right sideline. Brings up second and 10 for the Badgers. One receiver to the near side, one to the top of the formation. Rice under center. Two running backs lined up behind him in an I. Takes the snap, hands it off. That's Kreitler. He's going to be met by Darnold and Plant for a short game. Really no game. So it'll be third down and 10 for the Badgers. Badgers come out in that same formation, one receiver to each side, two running backs lined up behind Rice. Rice under center. Rice takes the snap. When we have a flag here, it's going to be a false start. They're trying to get St. Mary's maybe to jump, and instead the Badgers move first, and the Badgers will have to back it up 5 yards off of that false start. It'll be 3rd and 15 back to the 45 of St. Mary's. Get the play into Rice. Rice taking it out to the huddle. St. Mary's first play of the second half. Coughed it right up on the fumble. Badgers hoping to do something with it, but they're 3rd and long now. Same formation. Two running backs lined up in the backfield. One receiver to each side. Rice under center. Rice takes the snap, fakes the handoff one way, gets it to Treitler. Treitler finds some room to run, almost had an opening, but he's going to be tackled and brought down by Darnold. Cole Darnold on the tackle. Picks up about
4th and 7 now for the Badgers.
He picks up about 7 yards. So it's 4th and about 8 yards for the Badgers. They're going to go for it. Two receivers to the far side, two to the near side. Rice in the shotgun with one running back split to the right of him. Or to the left of him. Takes the snap, looks to throw, flips it out to the flat to Treitler. Treitler met head on in the backfield just about by Cole Darnold. And it'll be a turnover on downs on a well-read defensive play. As Cole Darnold, I think, gets a tackle for loss there, and it's a turnover on downs for the Badgers. St. Mary's will have the ball at their own 40-yard line. See if Gibson's back out there now after they get him his helmet and everything. So Gibson is back in the backfield. Lumberjacks looks like they're coming in with everybody in tight. They're heavy formation, but the pistol is Barta. Barta takes the snap, hands off Gibson. Gibson looking to the right side of the line, or the left side of the line, gets through for a yard or so. A 2-yard pickup for Gibson. Didn't quite see who made the tackle for the Badgers. St. Mary's back up the line of scrimmage. This time, Grimaldo splits out wide to the top of the formation as a wide receiver. Everybody else in tight. Barta in the pistol. Takes the snap, hands it to Gibson. Gibson looking to the right side, gets away from a couple of guys, and is going to be taken down at the 50. It should be a first down for the Lumberjacks. The tackle made by number 86. I don't have an 86 on the roster. I don't have an 86 on my varsity roster for the Badgers. First and 10 right at the 50 for the Lumberjacks. The only guy on my roster that didn't have a number was Zoni Jacobson. Two receivers set this time for the Lumberjacks. Going to be a pitch to DeFort. DeFort going to be met in the backfield and brought down, tackled by Stolt. Loss of about 5. Lumberjacks go backwards on that play. Second and long for the Lumberjacks, back to about the 46-yard line. Back on their own side of the field. Lumberjacks break the huddle. One receiver to the top. That's Grimaldo. Down to the near side is Wyatt Holmes. Back in the pistol is Barta. Gibson behind him. High, hard snap. They get it up there. It's caught by Grimaldo. Turns upfield on the far side, and he's going to be tripped up and taken down across the 50 to about the 46. Looks like about the 46 of the Badgers. It's about a 9-yard pickup. Conrad Hyatt with the tackle for the Badgers. Brings up 3rd and 6 for St. Mary's. St. Mary's breaks the huddle. Two receiver set. Holmes near side. Grimaldo top of the formation. Pistol. Going to take the snap. Looks to throw down the field deep. He's going to overthrow his brother. That's Brock Barta on that far side. I thought it was Grimaldo, but it was Brock Barta, and it was incomplete. Jack and Brock Barta, just sophomores. Pretty good athletes, though. St. Mary's 4th down. Looks like the Lumberjacks might possibly going to go ahead and punt this away, with it being fairly close to the 50. They're at about the 47 of Bonners Ferry. Riley Abel back. That's going to be a fake. It's going to be a throw. Gibson has it. No, Gibson's going to try to keep it. Takes it up the middle, and he's not going to get the first down. Picks up a couple of yards.
Gibson was the ball carrier.
But the Lumberjacks have turned it over 1st and 10. Looked like it was supposed to be a pass play, and some pressure came across in Gibson's face pretty quickly, so he tucked it and tried to run with it. Gains a couple out of it, but that's about it. It's going to be right about the Bonners Ferry 45 is where the Badgers will take over 1st and 10. 6.5 to go in the 3rd. Lumberjacks lead at 28-0. Both teams have had St. Mary's with 2 possessions. Lumberjacks turned it over once, stalled this last drive out. The Badgers stalled their first drive out. 4 wide receivers set for Bonners Ferry. Rice in the shotgun with a running back flanked to the left of him. He's going to hand it off. It's Bateman. Bateman met at the line of scrimmage by Gibson, carries him for about a yard. Darnold comes in to help clean that up as well. I'm going to call it a yard pickup. Darnold and Gibson on the tackle. Brings up 2nd, about 9 for the Badgers. Bateman is a big boy, big body to try to take down. He is a 250-pound senior. He is a 6'3" as well. So formidable opponent out there to try to take on one-on-one as a defender. I mean, Trey's a pretty big kid himself, but even he couldn't bring Bateman down on first contact. 1 receiver to the near side, 1 to the top of the formation for the Badgers. Under center is Rice. He's got 2 running backs in the backfield. In the I formation, they are going to take the snap. Hands off to the first man through. I believe that was Bateman. Bateman hits the hole hard, and it's going to take a whole host of Lumberjacks to bring him down. Looks like he got about 3 yards on that carry. Brock Anderson looked like he might have been one of the guys in there on the tackle, kind of last up off the pile. It will bring up 4th and about 5, 4th and about 4.
Third and 4 for the Badgers.
3rd and 4. Third down for the Badgers, not 4th down. We got about 4 yards to go. Lumberjack 49-yard line. 2 receivers near side, 2 to the top of the formation. Rice under center, 1 running back in the backfield. Rice going to keep it himself. He's going to be stopped just short, it looks like, of the first down. Thrown forward on the tackle.
Just short of the first down, it's going to be 4th and 1 for the Badgers.
Be 4th and a yard for Bonners Ferry. I almost wouldn't doubt to see the Badgers do that same thing again. They picked up a nice little chunk on that little dive play. If St. Mary's doesn't get up there and get ready for it, St. Mary's a little bit of confusion on the defensive side, so they're going to take a timeout real quick. Coach Rouse is going to come out and try to get his guys lined up properly. 4:04 to go in the third. 28-0 Lumberjacks lead. The Badgers have the ball, 4th and 1. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Wondering how to manage your retirement nest egg? How big should it be when you retire? Contact Jenny Oaks at Gateway Financial Partners to get the answers to these and all your other financial questions. The securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC. With over 30 years of financial planning, give Jenny Oaks a call at Gateway Financial Partners today. The guidance is free. The experience is priceless. Call 245-5255.
We are back. Timeout taken by the Lumberjacks here midway, or actually 3/4 of the way through the third quarter. St. Mary's leads at 28-0 over the Bonners Ferry Badgers here on homecoming night. It is 4th and 1 for the Badgers. They are at the Lumberjacks 46-yard line. Badgers going to go for it here. One to the near side for wide receivers. Looks like they've got one to the top of the formation. Rice is going to be under center. 2 running backs lined up behind him. One of them is Bateman. You could either quarterback keeper. I don't know if St. Mary's could stop Bateman if he did a whole full head of steam from the backfield. And they're going to hand it off to the second guy, and that's not going to work for him. Freddie Plant shoots the gap and gets in there. Also, Cole Darnold in there on the stop. The handoff was to Trailer, and the Lumberjacks stop him behind the line of scrimmage. St. Mary's might have been not expecting it necessarily either, but St. Mary's defensively got through the line. I know they were probably expecting something up the middle, but I kind of thought Rice or Bateman would get it. One receiver to the near side, one to the top of the formation. Brock Barta in the pistol. Going to hand it off to Gibson. Gibson finds a hole, gets off of a couple of would-be tacklers, and still is on his feet, picks up 10. Tackled by Gardner and Bateman. Almost a first down, but not quite. Brings up 2nd and 1 for the Lumberjacks. Second, about a half a yard. They're right at the 45. St. Mary's this time has one receiver to the top of the formation. That is Wyatt Holmes. Barta in the pistol, takes the snap, takes the handoff, looks to throw, rolls to the near side. Nobody open, cuts upfield, going to slide down across the first down marker. Picks up about 3, and it'll be a Lumberjack first down. They were rolling to this near side to Barta's right, and I didn't see any wide receivers come open this way. I don't even know if I seen a receiver out and allowed on this side, so I don't know if there was a little bit of a miscommunication on who was supposed to be in a route. But nothing really opened up regardless, so Barta smartly tucked it, found a little bit of an opening, and picked up about 3 yards. St. Mary's this time with one receiver to the top, one to the bottom, man in motion, pistol formation, going to throw it out into the flat little tunnel screen action to Grimaldo. Grimaldo finds the sideline down to the 20, turns on the afterburner, pushed out of bounds at about the 5. Grimaldo in the carry. Big pickup for the Lumberjacks. That is a 36-yard Brody Rice with the tackle. And we'll see where they do mark that. It is at the 5-yard line. That was a 36-yard catch and run for Grimaldo. 2.5 to go in the third. Lumberjacks break the huddle up to the line of scrimmage. Grimaldo now comes down to the near side. Up to the top of the formation is Holmes. Barta in the pistol. He has Gibson lined up behind him. Sends a man in motion. Going to get the snap. Going to be, I don't know if that's a fumble. I thought the arm was going forward. They're going to say it's a fumble, and the Tigers the Badgers recover. Bateman gets on it. That ball just came out of his hand. It looked like he was going forward with it. We call it a scramble and a fumble, covered by the Badgers. The Badgers have on the 10-yard line on their own side of the field. So a couple of turnovers by the Lumberjacks here in the second half. 4 wide receivers set for Bonners Ferry once again. 2 to the near side, 2 to the top of the formation. Rice in the shotgun. He has a running back, flanked up to the right of him, fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, takes it to the far side. Lots of room to run and blocking. He's just going to take it to the first down marker and go out of bounds. Picks up about 11. As that quarterback kind of like draw play designed to run worked well. They spread out the defense for St. Mary's, and the defensive backs took off going with the receivers, thinking it was going to be a pass. And it was wide open field to the right side of the Lumberjack defense. Two receivers to the near side. Nope, now they're shifting in a little bit. So you got one receiver to each side of the formation. Kind of a wing, kind of the same formation St. Mary's used. They get a man in motion, going to hand it off, but blasted in the backfield. Roan Ford gets in there. Treitler with the run. He's going to lose about 3. 2 yards on the loss. Roan Ford, I haven't heard his name. I haven't called his name a lot this evening. But that was a big play by Ford there. That was a loss of yardage, not a gain. Second and 12 for the Badgers. Ball shows on the 20-yard line. 2 receivers to the near side, 2 to the top of the formation. Rice in the shotgun takes the snap, hands it off, but the running back, well, he's still on his feet, but he's finally brought down by Freddie Plant. Looks like another loss of a yard or so. I think it might have been Treitler on the carry again.
Lost him a couple yards on the play. Third down and 14 now for the Badgers.
Another 2-yard loss. Brings up 3rd and 14 for the Badgers, back to the 17-yard line. Clock under a minute for the third quarter. Nobody has scored here in the second half. 28-0 Lumberjacks lead. 2 receivers near side, 2 to the top of the formation. Rice in the shotgun, running back flank to his right. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, looks to throw, rolls out to his left, looks across the middle, incomplete. In coverage was the Fort, intended for the 14 of Hagen, and Hagen came down awkwardly as the Fort landed on him. Incomplete pass, and the intended receiver is still down on the ground. 28 seconds left in the third. We'll take a quick 30-second break while they tend to the injured player for the Badgers.
Triple X Feeds in St. Mary's is your one-stop farm and garden shop. Everything from pet supplies to livestock feed and supplies, Triple X Feeds has it. Horse supplies, they have that also. From saddle pads to bridles, Triple X Feeds can set you up. Triple X Feeds now has hay and alfalfa in stock as well as straw. Triple X Feeds, located at 130 East College Avenue in St. Mary's, open 8 to 5:30 weekdays and 9 to 5 on Saturday. Triple X Feeds, a proud Lumberjack sports broadcast sponsor.
And we are back, and they've got the number 14 of Hagen up. He's going to look to jog off the field. Now he's heading over. Hopefully he is okay. Looks like the other player that was banged up earlier in the game for the Badgers, looked like he might be back out on the field playing again. I think it was the number 55 of Rude, if I remember right. He's the center. I don't see him down here on the sideline. So we hope that he is okay as well. And we hope that Hagen is all right also. 4th and 14, looks like the Badgers will punt. Bateman waits at about his own 7-yard line. Takes the snap. Nice punt. Going to take a bounce. Nice bounce for the Tigers. He picked up at the 26 by Gibson. Gibson going to stretch forward to about the 29.
First and 10 Lumberjacks.
So Lumberjacks will take over. That ball was down to the 25. Gibson gets it to about the 27. Only a couple of yards on the return. I didn't catch who made that tackle for the Bonners Ferry Badgers. St. Mary's starts at first and 10. The scoreboard says the 28-yard line, so that's where we'll put it. St. Mary's comes out with two receivers out, one to the near side, one to the top of the formation. Holmes to the near side, Grimaldo top. Barta under center, takes a snap, pitch to Gibson. Gibson far side. Thought he had an opening for a second. The Badgers grab him around the shoulders, bring him down. No gain on the play. I'm not sure who made that tackle. It might have been Bateman for the Badgers, and that's the end of the third. The Lumberjacks lead the Badgers 28-0. We'll be back in 30 seconds as they switch sides of the field.
Looking for a hardworking, reputable, licensed, and insured construction company in Benoit County? Need a remodel, pole barn, or deck? Whatever your construction needs may be, Colton Construction LLC is waiting for your call. 208-315-7333. Colton Construction LLC, licensed, insured, and ready to give you your free estimate today. Give them a call, 208-315-7333. That's 208-315-7333. Colton Construction LLC. Ask about their military discount.
And we are back. It'll be second and about 10 for the Lumberjacks. They are backed up on their own 28-yard line. They lead the Badgers 28-0 here in the fourth quarter, just at the beginning of the fourth. And it's just been kind of not a whole lot going on. I mean, St. Mary's did put together a pretty good drive, got down there deep into Bonner's territory, and then what was called a fumble from Jack Barta. To me, it looked like he was kind of pump faking or throwing that. I don't know. It was a weird way it looked. It almost could have been called, in my thought, an incomplete pass, but it was ruled a fumble. The Badgers were able to get it. They pick up a few yards, move the ball a little ways, and then they turn the ball over on downs. And it's just kind of been a back and forth between the two so far in this second half. Grimaldo comes down to the near side as a wide receiver for St. Mary's. Wyatt Holmes to the top. Barta in the pistol. Gibson, I believe, lined up behind him. Takes the snap. Quick little throw out into the flat to Holmes. Holmes with the catch. Can't shake off that first tackler, though. Is going to pick up a couple of yards. And it was the number 86 with the tackle. Gave him about 4 yards. Brings up third and about 6 for the Jacks. Lumberjacks break their huddle. Same two wide receivers split out on the same side of the field. Barta this time is still in the pistol. Gibson behind him. Man goes in motion. Takes the snap. Looks to throw. Barta flushed out of the pocket. Brought down by the jersey. He's going to be sacked. It looked like it was Rude that got him. Loss of about 4. Brings up 4th and 8. Actually, only a 2-yard loss. But Colton Rude with the quarterback sack. So 4th and 8. St. Mary's sets up, it looks like, to punt here. We'll see what happens. Lumberjacks do fake it on occasion. Riley Abel setting up at about the 19. Takes the snap. Boots it away. Takes a Lumberjack bounce. Going to roll down to the 30, just about the 29-yard line. No return. And that's where the Badgers will take over. 1st and 10 from about their own 39. 29. Right around, we'll just call it right at the 30 because that's where they're going to basically say it was at. 1st and 10 for the Badgers on their own 30-yard line. So once again, neither team doing anything spectacular. I mean, St. Mary's put together one drive so far in this half that moved the ball, but St. Mary's has 2 turnovers in the second half as well. The Badgers have not turned the ball over, but they have not been able to get anything going offensively against the Lumberjacks. This time the Badgers have 1 wide receiver to the top of the formation, 2 wide receivers possibly up there. No receivers to the near side. Rice goes under center, gets a man in motion. That's Bateman coming to the near side. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, rolls to pass. He's going to throw it over the top. It's going to be intended for the 32 at Gardner. He was kind of open, but just overthrew him a bit. Had a little bit of pressure coming in on Rice in the backfield. St. Mary's was able to get a few guys into his face. Wasn't able to really set up and try to make a good, accurate pass on that one. So the Badgers, second now and 10 on their own 30. Up to the line of scrimmage. I see 2 receivers to the top of the formation for Bonners, 1 to the near side. Rice in the shotgun, has a running back flank to the left of him. Takes the snap, hands it off. Nope, fakes the handoff, pulls it out. The bullet pass over the middle, and man, right into the hands of Bateman. Just couldn't quite hold on to it. That was a beautiful pass by Rice. And Bateman just about snagged that bullet out of the air. Just couldn't quite hold on to it. Brings up 3rd and 10 for the Badgers. Badgers quickly back to the line of scrimmage. This time it looks like they go with a 4 wide receiver set. 2 to the near side, 2 to the top of the formation. Gardner and Hyatt here to the near side. Bateman, one of the receivers to the top. Rice takes the snap, drops back, looks to throw. This time he's got Bateman. Oh, and that one's going to be in his hands, but Bateman drops that one. That's one Bateman wishes he had. It would have been a first down, but just, again, couldn't quite hold on to that one. That one not quite as much of a bullet as the last one, so I know Bateman wishes he would have held on to that one. Nice throw from Rice. 4th down and 10, so it looks like the Badgers going to punt this away. Gibson goes back for the Lumberjacks. He's waiting at about the 30. And offside by the Lumberjacks. St. Mary's has had a fairly clean second half so far, but that'll make it 4th and 5 for the Badgers. Not sure if they'll change their play call here or not. They might still punt, but I'm not sure. They're kind of looking over to the coach to see what he wants to do. And I think that looks like the universal sign of reload the play and just run it. So we'll see what they've got in their pocket, because it may not be a punt. St. Mary's needs to be aware that it might be a fake. Bateman still back at the 25. Speeder right about the 25-yard line. And goes in motion. He is going to get the punt away. Going to bounce all the way down. Rolls out of bounds, probably inside the 25.
Punt goes out of bounds on the 20-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 Lumberjack.
See where they're going to mark it. I know our PA announcer said the 20, but we'll see. Might have already been out of bounds at that point. Looks like they're going to mark it at the 25. Just going to call it a fair catch. And St. Mary's will have it 1st and 10 at their own 25. Pretty nice punt there by Bateman, as he got that to go out of bounds. It flips the field for the most part. 1 receiver to the top for the Lumberjacks. That looks like it might be Kyle Smith. Pistol formation for Sparta. Hands off to Gibson. Gibson finds some room to run up the middle. Looks like he's going to pick up 5. Wait for the official mark, and it's about 5 yards on the dot.
2nd and 6 now for the Jacks.
Not sure who made the tackle for the Badgers. 2nd and 5 for St. Mary's from the 30. This time we've got the number 2 of Gustav to the near side as a wide receiver. Only wide receiver out there. Barta in the pistol, takes the snap, hands off to Gibson. Gibson with a full head of steam, still on his feet across the 45, bowls over another Badger all the way down to the 50. Another big run by Gibson. 20-yard gain by Gibson. And again, you let Gibson get a full head of steam and he gets even harder to bring down. He's pretty shifty when he's just starting to get moving, but once he gets up to speed, he's got some pretty quick cuts and pretty quick feet there. He's tough to bring down. Everybody in one receiver to the top for the Lumberjacks. This time that's Gustav. Pistol formation, handoff to Gibson. No, he's going to keep it as Barta. Throws it out in the flat to Gustav. Makes the catch and is going to be down at about the 41 of Bonner's Ferry. A 9-yard play for the Lumberjacks. Gustav caught that, kind of stumbled. Otherwise, he might have picked up some more yardage, might have even taken it to the house. 2nd and 1 for the Lumberjacks up to the Badger 41-yard line. One receiver to the near side. That's Gustav. Everybody else in tight. Barta in the pistol. Gibson lined up behind him. Bad snap. Barta's going to dive on it. Does he hold on to it? I don't know. We'll see. First bad snap I've seen. And they don't have a bad snap option on here. They have a run option, and I have to call it a fumble. It's recovered by St. Mary's, but it's recovered back to the 50. Again, that's not really shouldn't go against Barta, but on the stats on Huddle it will. It was just a bad snap that got over his head. One of my previous stats programs had a bad snap stat in there, so that something like that didn't go against the quarterback. 3rd and 10 now for the Lumberjacks from the 50. Snap to Barta. He's looking to throw. He's going deep to Grimaldo, and it's going to be intercepted at the 20-yard line by Gardner. Good coverage by Gardner. And the Badgers take over. That ball was on target for the intended receiver, but Gardner had perfect positioning in front of him and was able to bring that ball to the ground, or ball in at the 30-yard line. Grimaldo had to get the tackle there. Badgers come out with a 2-receiver set, somewhat similar to the Lumberjack formation, except for they've got 2 running backs in the backfield. Rice goes under center, takes the snap, fakes the handoff, rolls to the left, keeps rolling, looking to throw. He's going to go looking for Bateman, and Bateman has that one a little bit high, can't bring it in, incomplete pass. Bateman with pretty good hands normally. He's having a tough night tonight out there for the Badgers. We have one game film on Huddle that I watched some of, and he was targeted quite a few times against East Valley and made some pretty good catches. So I know Bateman is probably really not having fun with himself tonight. He's just not himself, I don't think. One receiver to the top of the formation for the Badgers. Bateman comes down to the near side, actually. Stops up behind the line. Rice looks to throw, flushed out of the pocket. He's going to look deep. Going to try to get it out here. Trying to high point it over the top of the receiver is Grimaldo. He can't get it, and Hyatt can't make the catch either. Incomplete pass for the Badgers, and it's 3rd down and 10. Kind of a jump ball there. If Grimaldo could have gotten around in front of the receiver, he might have been able to get an interception of his own. But the Hyatt was in a good position, and Grimaldo tried to play the ball over the top of him, but couldn't quite get there. And Grimaldo, not quite as tall as Hyatt. Hyatt shows 5'9", so they're pretty close in size. Is Grimaldo probably about 5'7" or so. So 3rd and 10 for the Badgers. They bring 2 receivers to the near side, 2 to the top of the formation. Rice in the shotgun. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff. And now he's going to scramble to the left, has some room to run, slips down. Oh, man. The turf monster got him as that wet field from the rain. Rice is going to pick up a few on the carry, but he tried to make a cut. Had nowhere to go. Back to the line of scrimmage, and this has actually all been from the 20-yard line, not the 30. Badgers showing punt. Bateman back there to punt it. He's standing at the 10. Takes the snap. Gets this one away. That's a high booming punt. Gibson going to field it at the 41. He drops it for a second, pops out of his arms, and able to get back on it. So the Lumberjacks take over at their own 40. Lumberjacks up the line of scrimmage. The handoff to Brebner. Brebner finds some room to run. Finally brought down at about the 45 of Bonners. Nice gain by Brebner up to the 43. 17-yard run. St. Mary's back up to the line of scrimmage. Gonna throw it out into the flat to Gibson. Gibson with some room. He's got to outrun one guy. He does get the edge down the sideline for Gibson. Tripped up out of bounds. It's going to be a first down. As Trey Gibson makes the catch. Takes it down to the 25. On an 18-yard catch and run for Gibson out of the backfield. One receiver to the near side, one to the top of the formation. Pitch out to Gibson. Gibson looking for the edge here on the near side. Going to get brought down right about the 20.
Gibson on the carry.
Pick up of about 5. Brings up second about 4 for the Badgers. Or for the Lumberjacks, I should say. On the Badger 20. Under 5 to play. Lumberjacks lead 28-0 here on homecoming night. One receiver to the near side for St. Mary's. Barta looks like he's going to be set up in the pistol. It's going to be another run by Gibson up the middle. Looks like he's going to get close to the 9. The first down for St. Mary's. Yep, up to the 9-yard line, or up to the 9-yard line for 11 yards on the carry. First and goal for the Lumberjacks. St. Mary's breaks the huddle up to the line of scrimmage. One receiver to each side. Barta in the pistol. Takes the snap, pitches it to Gibson. Gibson trying to get that edge on the far side. Stiff arms. One guy tries to cut back. He's not going to get much on this one. And did Gibson fumble it? I don't know, and he did. They're going to give the ball to the Badgers. Oh, I'm not sure if Gibson made a yard or not on that one, but the Badgers recover the fumble. St. Mary's, a few too many turnovers here in the second half. First and 10 for the Badgers on the Lumberjack 9. Badgers trying to get one guy off the field. They have looks like a four receiver set. Rice in the shotgun with a running back flank to the right of him. Takes the snap. Pitches it out late. That's Treitler. Treitler going to be rode out of bounds by Cole Darnold and Aiden Yearout. Pickup of 9. Brings up second about 1. Two receivers to each side for the Badgers. Rice, shotgun. 2.5 to go. Rice takes the snap, fakes the handoff. Lumberjacks coming through, and who am I going to give the sack on that one to? Rowan Ford went flying by. Plant and J.J. High get on them for the sack.
High on that tackle. 3rd and 12 now for the drive.
And it's 3rd and 12 for the Badgers. They lost 11 yards on that one. Third and long for Bonners Ferry. Two receivers to the near side, one to the top of the formation. Rice in the shotgun has a running back flank to the left or the right of him. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, looking to throw, looking for Bateman, and that one was just a bit overthrown. Brings up 4th and 12 with 1:33 to go for the Badgers and the Lumberjacks here on homecoming night.
4th and 12 now for the drive.
Bateman standing in his own end zone, looking to punt. Grimaldo this time back deep to receive it. Almost gets it blocked, and they're going to throw the late flag on Watts as he got in there and hit the kicker. So we'll see what this does. I don't know if it'll give any automatic for it. Might be a 15-yard penalty, and if it is, it'll give the Badgers first down. I think they're roughing the kicker on Watts as he got in there and laid out to block. If he would have gotten the block, it probably wouldn't have been called. I think if you block it, there's no penalty, but he missed the ball and ends up hitting the punter. And that'll be all she wrote on that one for the Lumberjacks. The ball will be up at the 20, 22, 21 yard line. The Badgers looking to throw. No, I think it might have been a run play up the middle this time. Picks up 9. Aiden Yearout makes the tackle for St. Mary's. 1 minute to go. Badgers line up quickly. One receiver each side. Rice goes under center. Rice takes the snap. Fakes the handoff. Gets pressured. Comes the other way. Plant falls down. Can't get to him. And Rice smartly just chucks it out of bounds. There's nobody open to throw that ball to. St. Mary's had pressure on him. Might have been another sack if Freddie Plant not tripped, but slipped coming out of his break. Lumberjacks will play at home next week as well. Grangeville Bulldogs coming into St. Mary's. That very well could be for the district championship. League championship, district championship. St. Mary's can win that game and then beat the Maniacs in a couple of weeks after that. St. Mary's will have that automatic berth into the playoffs. And we'll get a first week bye. 2 receivers to the near side, 2 to the top of the formation for the Badgers. Rice under center, calls a man in motion. That's Bateman coming to the near side. Gonna take the handoff to Bateman. Rice rolls to the far side and again just throws it away and nobody there to get the ball to. Brings up 4th down and 2 for the Badgers. Don't expect the Badgers to line up for punt here. They've got nothing else to lose at this point in the game. They're going to go for it, I believe, on 4th and 2. One receiver to the far side of the formation. Rice goes under center. One running back in the backfield. Everybody else in tight. Gets a man in motion. That's Bateman. Rice takes the snap. Fakes the handoff. Going to throw it deep. Intended for Hyatt. Can he come down with it? He does. Nice catch by Hyatt. Good coverage by Darnold, but Hyatt just barely able to hold on to that.
Hyatt makes a nice catch for the Badgers.
And that's going to be down to the 41-yard line of St. Mary's. Another deep pass. And it's caught. I didn't see. Trey Bateman makes the catch for the Badgers. All the way down to the. No, they didn't have it on the. That was on the 10, it looked like. They make the catch. And I think they made another catch, but that was the. I think they made another catch right there at the end, but it was short of the goal line, and that is the end of the game. Lumberjacks win at 28-0, but second half kind of marred by some issues by St. Mary's. Some turnovers was just not a very good second half as far as that's concerned. We're going to take a break. We'll come back and wrap up the game and pick our Talk About It player of the game right after these messages. We'll take a 2-minute break.
It's the kid in grade school who paints her face blue and white before every home game.
It's the accountants and salesmen who give up their Friday evenings to referee.
It's the cashier at the corner convenience store who wears school colors on every game day.
What makes high school sports here in Idaho so special? They do. You do.
We all do.
This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
St. Maries Realty is a St. Maries icon. Why? Because they are a team. They work for you. And they've been a team for many years. Whether you are buying your first home, looking for a recreational cabin, or selling your current home, St. Maries Realty puts their team on it for you. So stop in or give them a call today at 245-4502 and let their team be your team. That's St. Maries Realty at 726 Main Avenue, St. Maries.
Riverbend Car Wash and Laundromat, located next to Harvest Foods in St. Mary's. Open 24 hours, we have washers and dryers of all sizes to get your laundry done quickly. If you'd like to get your laundry done in less than 5 minutes, take advantage of our drop-off laundry service where we wash, dry, and fold it for you. While you do your laundry, be sure to take advantage of our touchless automatic car wash, which has that great undercarriage spray to get the grime off. Riverbend Car Wash and Laundromat can be found at riverbendbubbles.com or call 208-582-4844.
When your car's not running right, you want an honest mechanic that provides quality work at an affordable price. That can be tough, unless your dad owns a repair shop. But in St. Mary's, times have changed. You have Jim's Auto, and they treat every customer like family. Get everything from regular maintenance to major repairs done at Jim's Auto and Tire Pros. Jim's Auto doesn't just offer oil changes. They're a full-service shop. Jim's Auto can diagnose that check engine light, change your brakes, and fix your alignment. Ask about Jim's Auto's new express lane with same-day or next-day oil and tire services. And don't forget, Jim's Auto is an authorized Tire Pros dealer with nationwide warranty, service protection plan, and free roadside assistance. Jim's Auto and Tire Pros located at 69 Milwaukee Road, St. Mary's.
And we are back. St. Mary's with the win, 28-0 over the Bonners Ferry Badgers here on homecoming night. Second half, not quite what the Lumberjacks wanted to see as far as having some turnovers there, but St. Mary's does get the win. Lumberjacks with 61 total plays on the night, 429 yards, 145 passing, 260 rushing, 26 first downs, 4 turnovers, though, for the Lumberjacks, 3 fumbles lost, 1 interception, and 9 penalties. I think actually ended up with 10 penalties for St. Mary's. Trey Gibson had 34 carries, 256 yards, and 4 touchdowns. He did have that 1 fumble tonight. Jarrett Brevner had 2 carries for 17 yards. DeFort had a couple of carries, or had a carry, he says -5. And Barta ended up with 3 carries, -6. Rushing, oh, no, that's for the Bonners. That's for the Badgers rushing. Passing, Barta, 11 of 19 for 169 yards, threw 1 interception tonight. Receiving, Grimaldo had 4 catches for 84 yards. DeFort had 2 catches for 22 yards. Gibson had 2 catches for 20 yards. And that's it there. Tackles, we're not going to go with that right now because tackles aren't exactly accurate at this point. We'll update that later on. Our talk about a player of the game. It's really tough tonight. And I'm going to take a break, and I'll come back with that talk about a player of the game.
Nellie's Kitchen at the River City Mall is your all-day breakfast headquarters. Well, almost. Nellie's Kitchen is open 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. and serves nothing but breakfast all day long. By Nellie's Kitchen today and try their breakfast sandwich.
You show your Vandal pride? Dave sure does. He proudly dons the silver and gold everywhere he goes. Dave thought he was the ultimate fan until he found out there was a Vandal debit card. Where did you get that? Well, Dave, there's only one place to get your Vandal debit card. At P1FCU. Visit P1FCU.org/GoVandals to get your Vandal card today. Debit cards are only available to P1FCU members with an active checking account. Insured by NCUA.
Kenny and the crew at 10th Street Superstop invite you into the biggest convenience store in town. 10th Street Superstop is your one-stop shop for gas, propane, snacks, and ice-cold drinks. Stop in for breakfast or lunch. Breakfast burritos and pizza to paninis and fajita burritos. 10th Street Superstop has something for everyone. Whether you're headed to a Lumberjack game or out into the woods, 10th Street Superstop is the place to stop for anything you may need. 10th Street Superstop on North 10th Street in St. Mary's.
Do you have a hazardous tree on your property? You need some trees or brush removed in preparation for the home or shop? You need to call Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing. Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing specializes in the removal of dangerous trees, pruning, thinning, and chipping. Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing also has a bucket truck for those hard-to-reach areas. So if you're in need of some thinning, tree removal, and site preparation, call Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing. That's at 208-582-2134. That's 208-582-2134. Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing.
And we are back, and this is a really tough one for me tonight as far as player of the game is concerned. Gibson had a terrific night, 256 yards with 4 touchdowns, and it really could, maybe should, go to Trey. But this is one of the best games of the season so far, passing-wise. And I know Jack had an interception, and I know he had that fumble. But this was one of the nights that St. Mary's passing game actually looked pretty good. And they did a good job of blocking for him. He got some good passes, good throws out there. So we're going to go with our Talk About It player of the game for tonight's game with Jack Bard as a quarterback. And that's just where we're going to go with it. So we'll stick by our guns with that one. Next week, Lumberjacks back at home once again, hosting the Grangeville Bulldogs. Big league matchup for the Jacks. So until then, have a great weekend, and we'll see you back here next time for Lumberjack football.
You've been listening to another production of Lumberjack Sports on KOFE 1240 St. Mary's, your Lumberjack Sports Network. We thank you for tuning in and hope you enjoyed the broadcast. We also want to thank our Lumberjack Sports broadcast sponsors and hope you'll do the same. Without them, these broadcasts wouldn't be possible. Until next time, same as always, go Lumberjacks!